visit the Spud Hut either.
Well, hi, everybody. A very good evening to you from Ridgeview High School. This is Week 1, Game 1 of the Kern High Network's Game of the Week 2018. I'm Vance Palm, joined on air by Rich Cornford, Kevin Willie on camera, Miguel and V, and everybody here making this a special, special night tonight. The Stockdale Mustangs travel a few miles to the southeast to Ridgeview to take on the Wolfpack, and this is going to be a game of possibilities, tons of possibilities and storylines to go with it. I'll bring in my partner, Rich Cornford. First of all, Rich, great to see you again. Excited to get back into calling football games with you. Before we get into football, how have you been, buddy? What's been going on in your life, man?
Well, lots been going on. My daughter Carly got married this summer.
Whoa!
So that's amazing. My other
so I'm buying dinner after, right?
Sweet, I'll take it. Yeah, I could use. I don't have any more money left, so I'll take it. My daughter Katie graduated from UCLA with her master's degree.
Very good.
So that's exciting. My son Marcus will be playing football at Bakersfield College this fall. So that's exciting.
Great to see you. Here we are at a football field you know well, coaching the Froshoff team for Ridgeview. You're well known on this campus amongst these football players, but you also know them as you're watching this exciting junior varsity game that we just saw. A lot of those players played for you. You have a lot of players that you coached last year that are already up on varsity. We're going to have a lot of Ridgeview discussion based on your involvement with them. But let's start on the other side of the football first tonight. The Stockdale Mustangs. We did our promo shoot for our Motor City Minute. They're going to be having a highlight show in a couple of weeks out at Stockdale. Last week, 7 in the morning, team was everywhere, all over the place, running drills in the high, wet grass to get those ankles going, and we shot some footage out there. And, boy, the optics, the sounds, what we were experiencing from that Mustang team, Coach Shelton's, all seemed super positive. What do you know about Stockdale?
Well, Coach Shelton's a heck of a coach. He was a heck of a football player. I coached against him when he was playing at Stockdale. I was at West High at that time. So he brings a lot of intensity there, and he's trying to turn around a program that really hasn't had a winning season since 2009. So they got their work cut out for them. They were 2-8 last year. They were in a lot of games and just, couldn't quite finish. So I'm sure that's been his point of emphasis. And I think a big key for them is establishing a running game this year. They had a great quarterback, Jalen Smith, last year, who lit it up, but they averaged less than 3 yards a carry on the ground. So you know that they've got a new line coach in, Ben Osai, who's played professionally, who I coached against him too when he was a 300-pound nose guard at Stockdale, and that's the team that played for a Valley Championship when he was over there. So they got that. They got a new offensive coordinator, Eric Smith, coming over from Golden Valley. So they've made a lot of positive additions to their staff, and it's good to give Coach Shelton some help over there. Always good to have veteran leadership.
To know Coach Shelton is to shake his hand, the Rock of Gibraltar, and he's an intense guy with all of his focus just directed right in your eyes when he's talking to one of those gentlemen. And when I have been around that program over the past few years, I've seen that uptick and that surge in energy and emotion on the sidelines. They're going to need it tonight. They're going up against a team that, for all intents and purposes, starting to find a groove even before some big news of a player coming to their team. Let's go ahead and just talk about the inclusion of a great and talented player, and it's not just one player that makes a team, but it's somebody that comes over the caliber of Taj Wright, and what that does to the makeup of the team, both positively and also some challenges, some opportunity to growth to build around a player when you've already got a really good team going. Let's talk about the addition of someone like Taj Wright to that program.
Well, it's interesting because Ridgeview is going to have a good team regardless.
Right.
Taj Wright coming over here into Coach Manning's system, and I think we all know that Manning likes to put his best athlete at quarterback. So right now, Taj, who can just about do anything with the football that he wants, it's pretty amazing. We'll get plenty of snaps there. But then Dennis also has the luxury of having a returning starter back at quarterback who threw for 1,600 yards last year in Justin Hinzo. So a pretty nice luxury. You can put Taj at wide receiver. You can put him at quarterback. You can put him running back. He's going to play defense tonight. So, he's a very talented kid, and Coach Manning will find the best ways to use him.
That is the voice of Rich Cornford, longtime West High School coach, foundational coach at Frontier High School, and now he's coaching the Froshoff team at Ridgeview. And he's survived a daughter's wedding, a daughter's graduation from a Pac-12 school, and now his son's going to be playing up on the hill for the Renegades. We have him tonight and all season long. Rich, let's take a step back. last year and look at some of the memories in our mind of what took place last year in 2017. It's a lot of games you and I called. One of my favorite games that I remember calling with you all year was at North High School. They have such a great setup up there, and the gym was being finished off to the northeast side. And that coaching staff, something about week one, they always seem up for the challenge. They always seem geared up. I remember calling one game, week one. I think it was his first game ever as head coach. They beat Wasco. This is the team that somehow is up and ready to go at the earliest point. And I don't mean somehow like I question them, but there are a lot of teams in sports that aren't ready by week one on any level in any sport. Coach, that North High School always seems to be ready to go tonight, and it could be a big game over there.
Well, Norm Brown is the definition of intensity.
Yep.
You know, and I've heard some stories about him when he was a football player at San Jose State. He played with a good friend of mine, Sheldon Canley, over there, that just intensity to the max. And he definitely translates that intensity to that Oildale crew that he's got over there. And he's the reigning area coach of the year, well deserving for turning that program around and getting a lot of tough kids to play really hard football. So Centennial's got their work cut out for them tonight with the Stars.
That's what a segue is all about, bro. Our other game tonight on the Current High Network is where else? North High School. They're hosting Centennial. Rick Hutchins over there calling that game with Rick Van Horn. So there's two Ricks and a Rich on our first night out for the Current High Network. They're calling that game tonight. Expect great things from that on Current High Network with that game being called over there. So these are two feature games tonight on the Current High Network. Tonight you are watching Ridgeview with us. They are hosting the Stockdale Mustangs, and we have a lot of storylines to talk about. Right now, the underlying story of all of this is that Ridgeview kind of has the expectant winning vibe in the community. People are kind of saying, hey, this is a team that could go a long, long ways, and what that does for Coach Shelton and the Mustangs is say, hey, well, these guys are pretty confident as we go into this first football game. So there's some locker room talk on both sides, and we're looking forward to getting it going tonight at Ridgeview, and they host the Mustangs of Stockdale. A fiery, very exciting junior varsity game that sets the tone for this first weekend here. Coach, last night, Bakersfield High School starts the season off and goes down to Southern California, takes on a deep, talented, well-rounded Servite team. Anybody that was able to capture that in the media last night and this morning and kind of have a chance to look at that, kind of saw some obvious statements there all the way down from the head coach through the players on the field. Doggone it, we let some opportunities slip away down there. Defense played very well. Not asking you to critique or give me any insight to that football program, but what did you take from that last night when you kind of see and hear what happened?
Well, with the season starting so early, I think more than ever you're going to find teams with some hiccups, you know, and BHS running option football, 4 turnovers. Obviously they had some problems with some of the reads. Defensively, they obviously played great. They gave up an interception for a touchdown and a kickoff return for a touchdown in that game. So they were hitting on all cylinders on defense. Offensively, they were able to move the ball from what I understand. Mm-hmm. But, boy, 4 turnovers, it's tough to win a ball game against any opponent when you've got 4 turnovers, much less a really good Southern Section opponent.
Full slate of high school football tonight, and we'll go through that as the evening goes. We're just so happy to have you with us here on the Current High Network. We have a big 2018-2019 season ahead of us. Our foundational cameraman, my main man, Kevin Willie, is with us tonight. So Kevin is in the public eye as well in this community. People know him very well. He gets asked about, when are we doing this? Are you guys going to cover this? Hey, I saw that game the other night. Are you going to do the band competition again? Are you going to do, the melodic arts? And the question is, sure, we're going to try to get to everything that we can. 2 football games a weekend to start off. Of course, volleyball right around the corner. Our winter sports went very well.
I talked to a very, very excited mother of a quarterback at East High today. At work, she came through, and she was just beaming. She said, wanted to make sure I knew that her son was the quarterback and wanted to know when we were going to do East High.
You tell her we will absolutely have some East High football coming her way and the community's way. Saw them last week in the scrimmage that we had. We went and had a tech run through. By the way, that was Kevin Willie, by the way. Hey, hold on. Who gave you a microphone and who told you to turn it on and where did – Hello, excuse me, V. Can you step in here, V? He's assuming quite a role that
you gave it to me last year.
Rich, it's not often I'm speechless, but on that one I am.
You give a mouse a
Kevin,
cookie.
thank you. One of the reasons that I know that we're going to cover East because we're going to try to get as many schools as we can, Coach, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun calling their game. Last week we had our tech run-through scrimmage over at Frontier. East was one of the 3 teams that was there. They put the ball up. They were throwing that thing. They were slinging it. They were running it. They were option, getting pitch passes. They were putting that ball in the air quite a bit. Some long completions there. So we're getting some early oohs and ahs at a scrimmage, which you don't, get a lot of that. But looking forward to calling East. I'll hold off and we'll run down the games a little bit later tonight. We'll kind of have some insight in there. One thing that was discussed kind of all summer long, even when I would have some discussions with our friends in the media, and whether it be print or electronic media, just conversing over the summer and the dog days of summer, talking about sports. And we pick each other's brains, and we all were very receptive and cognizant of this theme of change this season. And sure enough, you've seen it pretty much everywhere on the different news affiliates and certainly in print. It's a big season of change. First of all, I don't like the term carousel. I've never liked the term carousel when it comes to coaches. I think it gives, an image of just this wild, crazy, frenetic world where there's just no base, and I don't believe that that's true. This is Kern County where coaches live, but they end up in different places. You know that very well. So won't use the term coaching carousel. Let's just go with coaching changes. It happens for a lot of different reasons, but ultimately the end result is you've got new regimes wanting to make sure that these student athletes are progressing through life, getting good grades, making right decisions, doing good coaching. Your thoughts on some of the coaching changes that have taken off this year?
Well, it's become a tradition that there's about a 30% change every year. Chad Greider over at East High taking over it. A couple schools had double changes. I think East was one, and then Golden Valley was the other. I think sometimes you get young coaches into these positions that don't really understand the amount of hours that are required of that head coaching position and the criticism that comes with that spot. And it can be eye-opening. And, with the hours you get, and some would say the lack of pay for that spot, for their whole family, sometimes their perspective changes quickly. And I think that's some of the reason for that change. But, it's always exciting to get the right guy in the right spot with the right administration, and programs can turn around in a hurry. And I've seen that happen personally a couple times.
You look at Shafter High School. We'll be calling some games for Shafter. Talented squad.
Maybe the best quarterback in town out there at Shafter.
Could make a deep run this year. Coach Perucci's out there, and very well-known, heralded career at Bakersfield Christian High School. Now he's back out at his roots, back out where he was grown up and played his ball and made his name for him out at Shafter High School. But he's attracting talented coaches to come out there with him. That also happens, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's critical. A coach, and I think Manning does a really good job of this too, and Perucci, coaches with good charisma, that are good people, that other people want to coach with, that bring good people around them, that have administrators that will hire people to teach and coach with you. That's a big part of being successful.
Eric Smith, no longer at Golden Valley, here working the offensive side of the football for Stockdale. You can imagine he's amped, pumped, ready to go, but also a lot of early work in week 1 here for his offense.
Right, setting up a new system, working with a new coaching staff.
Against Ridgeview.
Right, from what I've seen is that they are pretty much running the offense Golden Valley ran last year. So they put Smith's system in play, a lot of no-huddle things. And Smith is a group. You got a guy to be your offensive coordinator that was a head coach for over 10 years in town. That's a great get for Stockdale over there. So it'll be interesting watching him coach against his best friend, basically, Nate Odell, who's now the line coach at Ridgeview. Nate's a great addition to the Ridgeview staff and does a great job with their line. But then you got two great buddies that are going to be butting heads here tonight.
One of the old men, one of the old guys as the head coach in our league is Coach Nixon over at Liberty. Obviously, sarcasm reeking out here on top of the announcers. But you look at a program like Liberty, Coach Nixon at Centennial for those years, goes over to Liberty, been there a while now. He's building up that culture over there to just become perennially a successful team. Let's talk a little bit about, the SWYL and kind of a forecast of what you see this year in 2018. This is somewhat of a kind of a preview of the season, our first game of the evening, our first game of the season. We're going to cover a little bit of ground here before we get started. I'm going to take advantage of Coach Cornford while I have him. SWYL outlook for you. Snapshot of it.
I think the top two, again, are going to be Liberty and BHS. That's the way it's been in this town. I think you could add Ridgeview in that mix from a different league. When they've, over the last 4 years, those three clubs have played each other 4 times, and they're all 4-4 against each other.
Say that again.
Ridgeview, Liberty, and BHS have played each other each of the last 4 years, and it's a total of 4-4. Each has won 4 and lost 4 against each other.
Wow.
So
That's
I think
a great trivia question.
It's a testament that those are clearly the top 3 programs in town. And so Liberty this year, they got a question mark at quarterback. They have a transfer coming in there. But with Daniel Viveros on that offense and defensive lines, that they are going to be able to pound the ball. They've got a running back over there, senior running back, Sam Stewart, who is a grinder. Perfect for that offensive line to run behind.
Some say he could be the best two-way player in the city.
Oh, he is a load. He's been a load since his sophomore year. So, that they will establish the run over there with Coach Nixon. Nobody understands the passing game better than Coach Nixon, so they'll be balanced. Ryan Renz is his defensive coordinator. Again, you talk about a place with the staff, a lot of really good coaches. Liberty is one of the tops in town. And then you got, BHS and just their tradition, the effort that they get out of those kids, the effort that their coaches put in under Paul Gola, and the environment that he puts them in to be successful. It's a pretty remarkable program over there that he has. And, they got great athletes on top of it. I got Carl Jones transferred in there to make things even more exciting. They got a quarterback that's already verbal to Oregon as a defensive back. So, those will be the top 2 teams, Liberty and BHS in the SWYL. Garces, I'm hearing great things about Garces, and, their coaching staff is on point. They don't have the depth, which, is always critical. They play a monstrous preseason schedule like the other 2 do. So them staying healthy will be really instrumental. But I know Campbell at quarterback there gives you a big, strong kid to lead it. A.J. Gass, as the coach, runs a terrific program from top to bottom. I mean, they ask a lot of those players, and they in turn get a lot out of them.
What do you know about your former school, Frontier?
Well, I know that Chris Bandy is one heck of a good football coach. He was my offensive coordinator at West High over there, so I know Chris real well. He obviously coached under Dennis after that, multiple Valley championships. He's a guy that relates really well with the players, really well with his assistant coaches. Half his coaching staff played high school ball with him out at Taft. So
great bond.
Yeah, they have a great bond. They're very tight, which just helps with communication. And so, the season they had, winning 7 games last year, was a real testament to those guys and the staff that he was able to put together over there.
One of their stars, Ernest Jackson, we know that name.
Yeah, Ernie was in my history class when I was over there. Hard-working kid, has really dedicated himself to the weight room. They've got a quarterback coming back over there. So, they're going to be talented. Centennial, I watched them scrimmage Ridgeview, and they've got some big, tough kids over there.
Centennial at North tonight, our other game. Coach, that's a quick glance at the SW. Man, you've done your homework. You have been working. I'm going to let Stan Green know I don't even need to be here next week. Great job, Coach, running through the SWYL. I'm going to give you a chance to catch your breath and kind of remind everybody what we got going this season. Again, that's Rich Cornford joining me tonight. My name is Vance Palm. Happy to be with you here for the Kern High Network, and Kevin Willey on camera. And great to also know that Rick Hutchins, Rick Van Horn, over at North High hosting the North Centennial game. And we want to remind everybody that we're so fortunate to have the United States Army, Kern Schools, Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza involved once again in bringing you these great live streaming events. 3rd year in a row now. Again, we want to thank United States Army, Kern Schools, Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza. This is the U.S. Army and Kelly 95.3 Game of the Week. We're under 10 minutes to go here before kickoff. The game's pushed back due to the heat, and making sure that keeping in mind at all times player safety. And Coach, just maybe a 2-minute quick discussion here on the uniqueness of playing in this super hot valley and kind of the adjustments that we have to make here as a district, and not just here but all the way up and down the valley. That, you know, this is just it is what it is when you live here.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you've got to really look at the weather forecast, because if it's bad AQI, the air quality, you can't practice from 2 to 6, all right after school. So then you either have to decide, well, do we want to go at 6 at night? Do we want to try to go early? For a school like Ridgeview, it's kind of an advantage, to be honest, because you can start practicing at 6 a.m., go to 8 a.m., and the kids can still be in class by 8:25. An early start school like Frontier that starts at 7:30, you know, they can't do that, so they have to go later. So, I mean, you've really got to predict. Like Monday, for example, it's predicted to be 104 degrees, all right? We're not going to be able to coach our kids before school, so we've got to get the word out to them, or after school, we got to get the word out that we're practicing at 6 a.m. to each of these kids, and you know, you hope everybody's come there. Some kids might have 0 period. They get excused from practice early. So, you know, starting it early has been a little difficult in some ways.
Tonight, kickoff looking to start, you know, probably right around 9 o'clock by the time the festivities are underway and the national anthem, and we get this thing rolling. So a late start. You know, for those of us that live on the West Coast, it's an awfully late start. But if you're on the East Coast, you go to any major sporting event in New York City, and they're getting underway right about now. So it's got kind of a cozy feel to it, even though we're in August. Not a bad night. Last week we had our scrimmage at Frontier, and the wind with the breeze was blowing, and Van Horn tried to take credit for it, and just a nice, easy-going evening. I'm Vance Palm alongside Rich Cornford, Kevin Willie. We're so happy to have you with us on Kern High Network. And we have a lot of ground to cover tonight with storylines. We're going to talk about, you know, some more leagues, some more teams, some more schools, some more coaches. And I'll pick Coach Cornford's brain as many times as I get him this year to call games with. We're at Ridgeview High School tonight. And Kevin has the camera on the purple and gold of the Wolfpack, an unbelievably successful tenure under Coach Manning. He has had this program at the highest of heights for quite some time, and we have an ongoing joke that whenever I go down the field before the games that I cover of his, I kind of now we've become caricatures of ourselves because we know it's an ongoing joke. And I said, well, Coach, how's it go? Oh, man, I'll tell you what, VP, we're young. And I go, oh my gosh. So that's a 10-year joke now. He's always young, but he's always deep into the playoff runs. He's just done a fabulous job here.
Yeah, he took over, what has it been, about 9 or 10 years ago, and a program that had moderate success, but it really tailed off. And, you know, Dennis has been successful wherever he's gone. His first head job was at West High back in 1998.
Who was that one kid he had? Ryan Matthews.
Well, yeah, he was coaching. Bryson Sumlin was the star of those Dennis Manning teams
early
on. Bryson went on, played at Fresno State. But Dennis was only there 3 years. He had kids going to Centennial. He kind of moved over there. I actually took over for him at West High in 2001. So, but then he took over Foothill, and I thought he was crazy. I said, Dennis, you know, that's tough to win out of Foothill unless your name is Permenter. But he gets the most out of kids. Got those kids tough. They played for a Valley Championship. Comes over to Ridgeview. They've won 3 Valley Championships, played for another, sent 1 million kids to play college football. And I'll tell you this, what I'm most impressed with. I've never seen a coach work so hard with his athletes to understand what classes they need to be in and what grades they need to get recruited.
Great administrator.
Yeah. And so that's really impressive. You know, a ton of college coaches come through here to meet Dennis because they trust his opinion. You know, they've got a couple dozen kids playing college football right now. So it's really good program that he runs, and he really does care about these kids. And boy, does he make them tough.
Thank you, Rich. We will take a short break and get prepared. We're at the 5-minute mark before kickoff here at Ridgeview High School. A Week 1 game of the week, the Kelly 95.3 and the U.S. Army game of the week here on Kern High Network. Back in a moment.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolfpack Vanguard.
Once again, everybody, welcome. Vance Palm here alongside Rich Cornford, Miguel, Kevin Willie. We are ready to roll here at Ridgeview High School. Getting close to kickoff time. Game pushed back, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, due to the excessive heat. And now it's turned into a beautiful late summer evening here. And it is August 17th. 2018 football season is here. Week 1. This is no week 0 nonsense, no scrimmage. It is on. Let's bring back my partner, Rich Cornford. Coach, great to have you here this evening as these captains are prepared to go out to greet each other and shake hands for the first time this season. We know that you have an energetic commitment to this school at the Frostoff level. Before we talk varsity tonight, give us a recap of week 1 for the Wolfpack Frostoff squad.
Well, week 1 didn't start off so great for the Frostoff Wolfpack. A good Stockdale team beat us 50-34. So high-scoring affair.
Yeah.
We'll be working on our tackling, all right, taking on blocks a little bit. But, you know, it's great to be back. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
They're getting in the end zone. That's good. Getting in the end zone. JV game was a riveting affair down the last play of the game, the last second of the game, won by Stockdale, hung on to a 13-12 win. So now big fellas are playing the varsity, the Wolfpack of Ridgeview. They come in with their flag. Captains being announced out on the field, and just as you said, the best time of the year. Great to be here tonight. Keys to the game, Coach, for Stockdale Mustang.
Well, I think Stockdale has got to be able to run the ball tonight. That'll help them control the clock a little bit. They've got to be able to protect their quarterback. Not sure who's going to start at quarterback for them. I know they had replacing Jalen Smith is a big deal, and I know they had 2 guys competing, so it'll be interesting to see who goes tonight. So I think them being able to run the ball is critical. I think they'll need to create turnovers. Ridgeview does an awful lot with its offense, which can be tough to defend, but it also can lead you to play a little sloppy sometimes. And so if all the T's aren't crossed and the I's aren't dotted, you can create some turnovers there. So I think if Stockdale's defense can create turnovers and their offense can find a way to run the ball, they can have some success against this Ridgeview team.
Ridgeview, keys to a successful night.
Well, for them, it's going to be making sure they hang on to the ball offensively and then applying pressure defensively. They're going to want to make Stockdale the one-dimensional team that they were last year. They want to force Stockdale into throwing the ball, and when you throw the ball against this Ridgeview secondary, that's their cup of tea. They want to create turnovers and 3 and outs over there, and that will be the key for Ridgeview over there, is to just make sure they hold on the ball. Stockdale's going to try and keep the ball in front of them, not allow Ridgeview to make those big explosive plays.
Thank you, Coach. We are ready to go.
It'll be interesting. I think Stockdale needs a really good start tonight. That'll give them confidence. They were in a lot of close games last year, didn't find a way to finish. This Ridgeview's team coming in with a lot of hype. So we'll see how Stockdale gets off here.
The 2018 season about to be underway. This is the U.S. Army and Kelly 95.3 game of the week. Great to have all of you watching and listening in on the Kern High Network. Ridgeview will be receiving. Stockdale won the toss and deferred.
All right, one of the dilemmas you have when you play Ridgeview is who do you kick the ball to? You pray you've got a kicker that can put the ball in the end zone, because they got Sean Allen there, who's a super sophomore. He actually played varsity football last year as a freshman. And you have Taj Wright, who is one of the most explosive playmakers in town.
Who do you not kick it to, right? We're underway, 2018 season, and it's taken in the far corner, about the 12-yard line, right back up against midfield. And just as Coach talked about, Sean Allen still on his feet and gets up to about the 30-yard line with a glimpse of what's to come tonight with even the most scant amount of space.
Yeah, and I would say that is a success for Stockdale to hold him at the 30-yard line. I know, many times we would just pooch the ball because, they've got 6 guys back there that can run. But, Stockdale can run this year too. They've got some speed. Their speed, it's some smaller guys, but they can run.
Taj Wright, former driller, now Wolfpack, stands at the 25-yard line. A lot of eyeballs on that young man this season, and especially tonight. Takes the snap. It's going to be a run play right underneath us. Nice contact at the 32-yard line. That is Elijah Alexander Williams, and Elijah, another dangerous weapon.
Yeah, Elijah ran for 700 yards last year, and that was despite missing several games with a broken hand. He got pulled up as a freshman and got time as a running back. So this is his junior year, and he's a great inside runner over there. Also watch for the tight end, Anthony Ramirez. We haven't mentioned his name yet. He is a transfer in this program, but very explosive.
2nd and 3. Right, southpaw, drops back, looks, wants to go down the middle of the field, floats it out, and it's an errant pass. And I think some miscommunication between DeGraffenried and Taj Wright. The ball actually ended up closest to Alexander Williams, but I'm not sure that was the intended receiver, Coach.
Yeah, they're seeing that Stockdale's in man coverage. They're trying to find the right matchup. That Dalen DeGraffenried is oftentimes the right matchup. He's a big receiver, 6'2", 185, runs well. College coaches are drooling over him. So there's a size matchup there that's going to be a problem for Stockdale. But Stockdale's going to come up and press him, play that man-to-man.
3rd and 3. Alexander Williams off the left hip of Wright. Wright drops straight back, wants to run, will run, looks for the first down, gets it, leaves his feet at about the 48-yard line, oohs and ahs as he lands at the other 48-yard line. So some excitement early from Taj Wright.
Well, that's why Coach Manning likes to put him at quarterback. Taj is limping here a little bit, but how do you rush a guy that is that mobile when you got receivers that are that good? You really have to slow your rush down and try and keep your lanes, but he still finds one there, picks up 15 yards and a critical first down.
He gets the first, but as you mentioned, he's already walking just a little gingerly. What looks like his right foot. Let's see, 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack there inside Mustang territory at about the 47-yard line. Just underway, 10.5 to go in the first quarter. There's a sweep right inside the right tackle, only cuts upfield. Nice run out there by Zion Hall, sophomore. You know this young man.
Yeah, so Zion was the 3rd fastest freshman in the state last year at one point. He ran 200 meters, then he ended up hurting his hip running 2 meters, but he was the fastest kid in the league up to the point when he hurt himself. So he's healthy now, but boy, he gets the ball in his hands, you see some electricity. Great kid too, wrestled, obviously ran track, so a 3-sport athlete.
Picked up the first down. They're at the Mustang 35. 10:20 to go here in this first quarter. Clock is stopped. Taj Wright takes a look over here to the sidelines, and a timeout is called. So our first opportunity for coaching staffs to talk to their players after a few series of the season, and You get some of these young men that have been doing it for a long time, and they look, a little relaxed. But then there's some other guys in there that are saying, "Whoa, this is here we are."
Again with the starting so early, it's kind of 1 week less of practice and just trying to work the kinks out, the communication process. I know Ridgeview had some problems with their headphones early on, but they got Steve Tucker upstairs calling the offense for them, and he's a good old veteran coach that has been with Manning a long time. So they'll get this thing straightened out.
All right, 1st and 10, 10:22 remaining in this first quarter. Ridgeview has the ball at the Stockdale 35-yard line. Taj Wright has Alexander Williams with him, tosses it back to Alexander Williams. He's brought out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Boy, a great block out there by Dalen DeGraffenried. Something that receivers don't get a lot of credit for. Not only can he catch the ball real well, but that block was interdimensional in that 8-yard gain. And an 8-yard gain on first down is perfect. Now you're in second and short. You can run anything in your playbook.
Elijah Hudson in on the tackle, along with Christian Duenas. Second and short from the 27. Again, the game clock is not moving. Long pass out to the flats to Sean Allen. Allen turns on the afterburners and gets to the 11-yard line, I believe. It'll pick up a first down.
This has been a pretty methodical drive here by Ridgeview, putting the ball in the air probably more than at least I expected. But Taj looks good throwing that ball. Nice tight spiral coming out of the lefty.
The play comes in with Alexander Williams, another junior. Taj is a senior. You've got Chris Thompson, the receiver, is a senior. Dalen DeGraffenried, senior. Ramsey Sandoval, some real leaders on that team. 1st and 10, Wright stands at the 15-yard line. He keeps it, looks for some blocking downfield. Stockdale does a nice job of getting out there and closing that out, but still a 5-yard gain.
Very patient running by Taj Wright right there. I mean, obviously he's fast enough. He could have outran his blockers, but he really tucked behind him and gave him another positive play on first down. And right now, Ridgeview's been very successful on first downs, which we say is staying ahead of the chains.
Under the 10-minute mark here to go in this first quarter. No score yet. Ridgeview received the kickoff. It's been their football the entire time. They've marched methodically down from the 30-yard line to now the 6-yard line. Purple and gold of the Wolfpack. A lot of buzz about them in late July, early August as people started to say, wow, they've got a lot of talent here. Let's see if we can witness some of that tonight. Also, Anthony Ramirez, you mentioned that big tight end.
Yeah, the red zone here is an area where he or Elijah Williams will be used.
Reverse direction, and look at this. Saunters into the end zone. It is a touchdown. Elijah Alexander Williams. Ridgeview's on the board.
Penalty marker down.
All right, there is a penalty marker down. Good run by Alexander Williams.
Will this first score of the season hold? Here's the call. It will not. It's a hold against Ridgeview.
Holding penalty against the Wolfpack.
Sometimes you get those change of direction plays, and boy, you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Stick that arm out when they change direction, you know.
So it'll be interesting. They just marked off 5 yards on that. I guess the spot of the foul must have been at the 1 yard line. So that not quite as bad as 2nd and 15 would have been. So 2nd and 10. Again, they can run or pass right here. They could, looking to roll Taj out and giving him that run pass option. Just a very difficult offense to defend.
As they break from the huddle, you have DeGraffenried and Allen.
Well, the inside receiver's uncovered right now.
But they stay on the ground with it. Stockdale meets the challenge. Nice hit out there by Michael Gabaldon. And also in on the play is Tanner Williford. Nice job by the Mustangs. Now it's a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, 3rd and 9. And I know Ridgeview's got a good kicking game, but you wonder if they're going to just set it up to get close enough to go on 4th down, or are they going to end zone right here? My guess would be that Taj is going to roll here.
Again, DeGraff and Reed, Hall, Allen, all out on the far left side. They hand the ball off again. They stay on the ground with it. Oh, some beautiful running out there by Alexander Williams, but great defense by the Mustangs.
Good defense by Stockdale, 4th and 3. So already early in the season, we have a critical down. We said Stockdale's got to start fast. A stop here would certainly be a fast start for them.
Great point.
5-yard gain on the play, 4th down.
The irony of it, though, if they could do it after a long 4-minute drive to be making a fast start, I like it. Here we go. Alexander Williams on the left hip of Taj Wright, and some other guys out there that he's got a chance to throw to, the aforementioned athletes we've been mentioning. Here we go again. Look at this. Stockdale stays at home, and a big play out there by the Mustangs. And again, it's Tanner Williford, the big defensive end and tight end. What a big play. There's your fast start, Coach.
There we go. Huge momentum play for them. Great job by Tanner of staying home, keeping his contain over there. Taj is not the easiest person to tackle, so that was a great job wrapping him up, bringing him down for a loss. Now we'll see if this Stockdale offense can move the chains, and you know, for them, they want to run the ball.
So a momentum shift after a long 67-yard drive that now all of a sudden has the Mustang crowd over there, which, by the way, they've traveled well. Nice crowd over there. Here comes the Mustang. The first play from the line of scrimmage. They try to stretch it out down the right side. They give the ball to Evan Burkhart. And Evan maybe lost a couple, got hit in the backfield and went down.
When you look at that Ridgeview defense and the speed that they can put at every position on the field, it's a daunting task to try to coordinate your offense to find who are we going to run at, you know. They've got to establish a running game, but it's tough going there as far as finding somebody to pick on.
2nd and 13 is what they made it official. A quick little toss out to the far side, a flag on the play. It may be a first down out there to Brandon Dunn, but the flag came out quickly from the line judge on the far side, standing at the down marker.
Tackled by number 4, Sean Allen.
We'll see what that flag is. Brandon Dunn was the leading receiver for Stockdale last year. He's a senior, 6 foot 180.
Penalty marker down.
Ooh, that was a nice looking play.
Yeah, good quick hitter, missed tackle. First down if the flag doesn't bring it back. Taj still out there playing safety and still limping a little bit.
So the official.
Legal man downfield.
Oh,
Gives the
boy.
Mustangs.
And that flag came at the snap. I mean, right at the snap for the illegal man downfield call.
Yeah, you know, some of today's game, or a lot of today's game, is the RPOs, the run-pass option, where you're actually telling your lineman to run block, but the quarterback's going to read it. And you wonder if a guy just got a little anxious and went a little too far down the field and drew that.
Oh, that's a great insight. I appreciate that. Because to the naked eye, that ref threw that on the snap, and it begged the question. So you explained it. 7:25 to go in this first quarter. Stockdale thought they had a nice little play. Well, they did have a nice play drawn up there, but it comes back. So 2 negative plays in a row for the Mustangs when they had a first down without the penalty. Draw right up the middle. Oh, it's another nice looking play. Oh, he runs into the official, bounces off the official. Oh, what a nice run up to the 17-yard line. A strong run by Kylan Davidson. Wow.
Great call by offensive coordinator Eric Smith. Ran behind Tucker Arias, junior offensive guard, 6'2", 300 pounds. Probably a good guy to run behind when you need some yards.
Wow. Tucker Arias, 6'2", 3 Bills, number 77. You have Maximus Hawarden, number 75. I have no stats on him as far as height and weight, but he's big. Here's a toss out to the near side. Pitch and catch with a nice move. Look at this. Evan Burkhart cuts upfield, gets to the 30-yard line. So a really nice pass out there by Adrian Herrera, not trying to go 70 yards with it. Nice little 8-yarder. That's what they needed.
And Adrian looked sharp last week in the scrimmage versus North High for them. Really crisp lefty, very good athlete. And right now, Stockdale lost their quarterback, Jalen Smith, but they have their top 2 receivers back. And those guys are doing a good job of running really crisp routes, and he's getting the ball out on time, and they're moving the chains.
First down for the Mustangs from their own 30. In motion, Burkhart. The handoff to Burkhart. He cuts up the middle, and he runs into a very stout and ready Pierre Morrison.
And Pierre is a monster, all right? He's a good 6'5", 240, and can run. You look at him out there, Ridgeview's uniform looks like LSU. He could fit right in on an LSU roster with passing the eye test like he does.
My sounds of euphoric laughter is simply because of the memories of calling his name last year on almost every single play. What a force. Pierre Morrison now standing over on the defensive inside, far upper part of your screen. He comes in, rushes in, a quick pass out there, and it's complete out there to Williford. So the pressure is absolutely on Herrera. He's feeling it, but he's doing his reads and getting rid of the ball very quickly.
You're exactly right. Ridgeview's got a strong pass rush, but when you're getting the ball out in about 1 second, that pass rush isn't going to get to you. So very impressed with Adrian and how he started.
6-yard gain on the play. Third down.
Big
Third
third down here.
Yeah, that's the big one right here, Coach. Ball's at the 38-yard line. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score. Great defensive hold, or a stop, I should say. And it looks like it's going to be a screenplay, and it is. Nice blocking out to the near side here. Look at this. Kylan Davidson picks up the first down and more. Gets inside the 50-yard line. So a perfectly designed screenplay called perfectly at the right time, and off they go. First down Mustangs.
Yeah, Kylan Davidson is another speedster. He's a senior, 5'8", 165. Again, he can take it the distance at any time. Had struggled last year running the ball successfully, but I think it was more, offensive line problems than him because he's clearly very talented. And Eric Smith, again, seems to be a step ahead there with his play calling here. Very, very balanced attack.
Herrera. Burkhart goes by. Herrera could run if he wants to, and he does. Gets to the 40, tucks it in. Can he take a hit? And he can. Right at the 31-yard line. No, they put it on the 30. So here come the Mustangs, and it's awfully quiet on this side of the football field.
And this all started way back about the 10-yard line. Again, methodically moving down the field, and Herrera's making all the right moves right now.
Started on that 10-yard line with that stop where the tackle was made on Taj Wright at that 10, and they took that football from there. It was such a prophetic sign from you. They need a quick stop, and if quick means hang on to the end of a long 4-minute drive, that's all we need. Here comes Mustangs. 3 split out to the far right side, but they stay right between the tackles, and a nice strong run out there by Kylan Davidson. Again, good for 8 yards, and had it not been for a last gasp effort by the big fella up there, Burrs, it would have been a touchdown possibly.
And, Jolly's one of the top returners. He's an outside linebacker, had 11 sacks last year for Ridgeview. But right now, Ridgeview can't turn the Jets loose because they don't know if Stockdale's going to run or pass. So Stockdale already showing more balance this year than they did last year.
Nice stout line, some big guys. Nice big line there for Herrera to stand behind. It's 2nd and 3, under 4 minutes to go here in this first quarter. They stay on the ground again. It's a sweep out to the right side. A nice, strong, hard cut by Davidson. And he's letting a flag on the play, but he's letting everybody know he is here.
Yeah, again, I think you see the influence of Ben Osai and coaching that offensive line.
You're right, Coach.
Over there. They're really working well as a unit. All right, holding call, though. Boy, that always hurts.
Oh, another one. Another toe stubber there. So they'll move him back, and it's been a nice start for him, but doggone it, that train was rolling.
Replay, second down.
We will take a short break. We've got a timeout on the field. No score yet. 3:43 here in the first quarter. We're at Ridgeview. They're hosting Stockdale here on KernHighNetwork.com. Welcome back, everybody. 3:43 to go here in the first quarter. Kern High Network Game of the Week, the U.S. Army and Kelly 95.3 Game of the Week. Here's a 2nd down and 9 for the Mustangs, who have been moving the ball very nicely here in this first quarter. Oh, a hard count. How about that after the timeout? Eric Smith, offensive coordinator, says, I'll tell you what, let's go out there and get 5 the easy way, brother.
Hey, and you'll take that every day of the week. Interesting move Ridgeview just did. They've been running cover 1 with Todd deep, and Stockdale has been successful running on him. So that last play, they just rolled him up into a cover 0. So you got no help deep, but it puts another guy in that box to stop the run. So it looks like they're going to do that again on 2nd down. Really working hard to stop the run game here at Stockdale.
You've got doubles out on both sides for Herrera. He's got one back there if he needs it. Quick out to the far right side. Mason Wright. Huge hit at the end of the play out there by Eddie Jackson. But Wright pops right up, tosses the ball to the official. I believe that's a 1st down.
Boy, the timing of these Stockdale receivers and their quarterback for being this early in the year, Vance, is impressive. They've obviously put a ton of work in the summer with Coach Smith.
Adrian Herrera, 5'10", 147-pound quarterback. The diminutive southpaw standing behind that big line has just as big of a wolf pack coming at him, but right now it is 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Herrera takes the shotgun snap, and big contact, but a nice, strong, tough run right up the middle by Kylan Davidson. You could hear the pop from up here, but he's one of those running backs that just gets forward yards even when he gets hit.
Yeah, he really attacked that hole downhill. And again, a successful play on 1st down, picking up 3 yards, staying ahead of the chains. They can run it here, they can pass it here, and as an offensive coordinator, that's what you want. You don't want Ridgeview able to just pin their ears back on your passing game.
Again, doubles out to both sides in the slot down here. Evan Burkhart next to Jeremiah Gradowitz, but they stay on the right side. Again, they go to the well and very close to a 1st down. And that was Dunn that pulled that one in from Herrera.
You know, Mekhi Deans is another sophomore out there, and he's given a little cushion. A lot of times if you're going to go cover 0, you want to tighten up those DBs because you don't want to let them hit those hitches and slants, those easy completions when you're bringing heat. And right now, Stockdale's hitting the hitches and out routes against this man coverage of Ridgeview.
Here's a big play right here early in this football game, a 3rd and 1. On the far hash, strong right side, 3 receivers way out there to the right. Herrera, though, stays on the ground. Oh, and a big play by the Wolfpack, and a nice big hit out there by, I think, is that Ramirez? It is. Anthony Ramirez comes in and lays the wood. And Davidson, if anything, kept it right at the same line.
All right, and Ridgeview's going to make Stockdale's going to make the decision to kick here, it looks like. Ridgeview had that opportunity, went for it on 4th down. Stockdale's going to figure, hey, any points are good here. They've controlled most of the clock in the first quarter here, and typically Stockdale's had great kicking games.
And here's Hartman. He's the senior, and it will be a 28. Oh, fumble. Ball's loose. What can they do with it? Nothing. So it wasn't the kicker. It was an issue with handling the football, so we see no kick yet. And that's what I kind of meant earlier about this is a big play, that 3rd and 1. You have to make that decision on a 4th down, and it didn't really work out. But Mustang can take something away from that drive for sure.
Right. Well, they at least established that this is going to be a ball game tonight.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people thought Ridgeview might just roll over them, but Stockdale's come out and they've gone blow for blow. Now we'll see, how do you handle adversity? Right. Everybody can play well when the sun's shining. How do you handle it when things aren't going perfect? All right. Obviously that's a big setback right there. Cost them some points. If this is where a team that sudden change oftentimes will go deep on you. So we'll see if Ridgeview tries to attack, maybe going after to Dalen DeGraffenried because of the size matchup over here.
Taj Wright back out in the shotgun, still running very gingerly. Communication problem. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's a lefty, so he's got to cross the body. Lets it go. Will it be complete? And it is. Oh, what a great play. What a great play by Taj Wright. Wow.
Boy.
Connects out there to Dalen DeGraffenried. Wow, Coach.
Making something out of nothing right there. I think there was some kind of mess up on that, and those two found each other and turned it into a positive. And great football players can do that sometimes.
Escapes trouble, throws across his body as a southpaw, throws it up and on the money. First down, Wolfpack. Signature moment here in this first quarter. Whistles blow, movement, I believe. Flag came way out over there by the Stockdale side. 1:26 left in this first quarter. No score yet, but a really nice first quarter anyway.
Been interesting to me. Stockdale is playing with two safeties, and a lot of times it's tough to play the run against a good running team with that. Boy, that encroachment really hurts them, though.
Yeah.
Making it second and short. But so far, so good for Stockdale. They haven't given up the home run ball, which we said keep the ball in front of you. So I'm sure that's the philosophy there. But we'll see if Ridgeview tries to attack this defense hard inside with Elijah Alexander-Williams.
They want to throw. At least they look like they want to throw. Wright is trying to stay out of trouble for a minute, and he does again. Oh, the speed now. He's running with a little bit of a limp, but flag on the play right in the middle of the football field. Now he cuts back around looking for blocks. There is a flag, but we still get to see the talented Taj Wright do what he does, and this crowd loving it.
That's why Dennis Manning puts his best athlete at quarterback. Boy, and at the end of that, you had Zion Williams blocking his tail off for him. When your receivers block that hard, that is a good sign. But obviously a yellow flag on the field after a 50 or 60-yard gain isn't so great for Ridgeview.
And what we believe I'm hearing is that it is against the Wolfpack. But two plays from Taj Wright here at the end of this first quarter, reminding everybody who he is. The scramble throw across his body for a first down. And then although a penalty flag will mar this play, wow, what a run.
Looks like Dennis is going to give Justin Hinzo a shot at quarterback, give Taj a little breather after that run. He's been playing both ways. And now you get to put a quarterback who threw for 1,600 yards last year and 13 touchdowns in the game. So, he's got a very strong arm. This year, managing the ball a little bit better is the big thing with Hinzo. He can throw it a mile, but just accuracy and decision-making will be critical here.
1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Hinzo in the shotgun, drops straight back, rolls to his right, takes a look, throws. It is caught. Instantly a hit on the play. Nice big hit by Evan Burkhart, but it was caught by Anthony Ramirez. So two very tough kids get to know each other early here in this season. Oh, and Anthony Ramirez feeling that one.
1 yard gain.
And you always know Stockdale kids will hit you. I think it's, part of Coach Shelton's MO, being a defensive back himself, played at Sacramento State. He gets tough kids to play for him, or he makes those kids tough, one or the other. But they're always very tough and physical.
Hinzo looks at the game clock, 12 seconds, calls the snap. 2nd and 9, Hinzo in trouble, gets bottled up, and he's thrown down at the line of scrimmage. And that will do it. The end of the first quarter, no score, but a superb first quarter with regards to matching up pretty well. You are watching all of this on the Kern High Network. I'm Vance Palm, Rich Cornford. We'll be back here in just a second to start the second quarter.
On the play.
I think they just realized.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first quarter with the score. Your Ridgeview Wolfpack 0, Stockdale 0. Still plenty of good food options out there, fans. Tacos help support the boys
Great
soccer
start,
team here
great
at
start.
Ridgeview. Deep Pit barbecue sandwiches help out Ridgeview Athletics. And the Spud Hut has baked potatoes.
Looks like Anthony Ramirez cramping up a little
He
bit.
got hit.
Ridgeview High School
He got
Music
hit by
Boosters.
Burkhart.
Oh, yeah.
As
Got him.
always, the concession
Boom.
stands has all your stadium favorites from hot dogs to nachos. As always, we thank you for supporting Ridgeview High School and Ridgeview.
Welcome back, everybody. Current 9 Network's live exclusive coverage of the United States Army and 95.3 Kelly Game of the Week. I'd like to thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. Of course, the U.S. Army, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza. More on that later. Henzo, to start off the second quarter, launches one out, overthrows his intended receiver out there, Anthony Ramirez. We saw Anthony getting tended to there at the end of the first quarter. Maybe could be either cramps but I know he took a big hit on one of those plays before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Evan Burkhart, who's playing both ways for Stockdale, put a pretty good lick on him. And now we see, Ridgeview's forced to punt. So an offense that a lot of great things were expected of. Got stopped the first drive on downs, now forced to punt over here. They do have a really good punter, though, in Fabian Gillian. He's a returning player, puts a lot of time and effort and pride into his kicking. He's both the punter and the kicker. So a nice weapon to have.
Set the punt for the Wolfpack.
Fabian back there to punt it. Evan Burkhart back there to return it. Start of the second quarter. They almost got it, or did they? I think he may have nicked a part of that. So great job by Stockdale to get in there and get a hand on it. It's down at the 35-yard line, so here's another opportunity for Coach Shelton and his staff to put together a successful drive here. We're at Ridgeview. My partner is Rich Cornford tonight.
Ridgeview punt will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Remember last year, Kyle Wiley called me. VP, you're not going to believe who I have to call games with. He said, who? He goes, Coach Cornford. I said, man, let me have him. Let's go. Let's do it. But then I had to get in line and wait for everybody else to call games with him, and finally we started to have some fun together. And, boy, it's a blast to start the season off with Rich, head coach at West High and Frontier. Now he's the coach for the Ridgeview Frosh Soft team, has a son playing for the Renegades up on the hill this year. And great to have him here tonight. No score in the first quarter, but a nice first quarter.
Yeah, very balanced first quarter. We got a good matchup over here, kind of a chess match between the coaching staffs as they're feeling each other out. And, Stockdale did a really good job last drive. They got caught with that holding penalty, which kind of took them out of their rhythm a little bit. But they've stayed ahead of the chains for the most part.
1st and 10. A double handoff, Williford to Burkhart. A lot of traffic in there, didn't get much out of it.
Yeah, Ridgeview is going to, with those defensive ends, they're going to be pinching them, slanting them, sending them around. The opposite end, Zach Pierce goes by Texas. Moved here from Texas and is a Texas tough kid, man. He's another one. He's 6'5", pretty lean, maybe 200 pounds. Really good discus thrower in the league. Was one of the top throwers in the league last year. But, the two bookends over there that, both about 6'5".
2nd and 12 officially. Herrera, they stay on the ground, run between the tackles, not a bad run. About a 3 or 4 yard run, gets it to a 3rd and 9, maybe right around there. So big call here for the Mustangs.
So Eric Smith used a screenplay earlier in the first quarter in a situation similar to this. See if he goes to the well there once again.
They have the 5'11", 140-pounder in Deontay Davidson as receiver. He comes out here to the near side with Mason Wright, right down here at the bottom of your screen to the left. Kylan Davidson has been doing some heavy lifting already in the backfield, and there we see Burkhart in motion. Herrera drops back, has good time, good protection. He's a southpaw, but he gets wrangled and thrown down at the 30-yard line. Nice strong play out there by Jolly Burris. So 4th down for the Mustangs, 3 and out.
So Jolly's first sack of this season. Like I said, he had 11 last year, so he's hoping to get at least 16, he said. So that's number one. If they go deep in the playoffs, he could make a run at that magic number.
Spells his first name J-A-A-L-I, J-A-A-L-I.
Yep, and it is pronounced Jolly.
Yep.
All right, who are you going to punt to back here? Some pretty dangerous guys.
It's either Taj Wright or DeGraffenried, and could bounce right into Taj's hands. It bounces away from him. Let's see. Oh, what a beautiful punt. What a nice football. Gets down to about the 17-yard line. Wow-wee.
That ball bounces funny sometimes. They got 2 great guys back there. The purpose of doing that is making sure you field the punt. So the fact that that ball rolled in between the two, something that Ridgeview's got to work on just communication-wise between those 2 returners. Maybe a missed opportunity, getting the ball in one of those guys' hands. Dwayne Hartman was the punter there. Excellent job not, out kicking his coverage over there. You don't want to let a 40-yard fly, 40 yards and low on a punt is a really bad thing. So really positive result there for the Mustangs.
9:36 to go here in this first half. 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack. Taj Wright back behind center. A slew of receivers down here in the bottom right of your screen. The left side of the line of scrimmage. Wright has Alexander Williams in the backfield with him. He gives it off to Alexander Williams, looking for some room, looking for some space. And, the talented, gifted, strong runner still on his feet. That is one nice run out there by Elijah. Patient, strong, fight to the end, hard takedown.
Well, and that is his MO. I think that might be something Ridgeview tries to do. They've done some flashy things, this and that. But Elijah Alexander Williams, he had some successful runs early on, and one of them was called back. But he's got very good vision, very good balance, very good power, about 6 foot, 195 pounds.
From the 31, 1st down, Wright throws it out. Ooh, high pass, and it was caught by Sean Allen, but there to meet him in the air and all the way down was Mason Wright. Woo. That ball was thrown into a dangerous little spot.
Yeah, and Ridgeview's got all these guys that can fly, but boy, so does Stockdale. The reaction time on that was impressive.
2nd down.
All-star crew here tonight. Victoria's pretty much the boss, I guess. Thank you, Victoria, from the Kern High School District Support Services Office. Miguel, superstar, everything. Kevin Willie, back by popular demand, by request. 2nd and 14. Still no score in this football game. Strong left side of the line of scrimmage. Wright drops back. He's a southpaw. He runs to a strong side. Lets one fly. It floats up. He took a hit. That may go. And it's dropped. Zion Hall in what was a sure touchdown after the elusive running of Taj Wright. He let it fly, took a hit, and the oohs and ahs still emanating out of this Wolfpack crowd. That was a touchdown.
I believe he just threw that ball 60 yards.
On the fly.
A left-handed quarterback that can run and throw the ball 60 yards is pretty scary. Should have been caught by Zion. That's one you don't get mulligans in football. And again, now Ridgeview forced in a 3rd and long situation. We'll be interested to see how Stockdale plays this. I don't think they're going to blitz Taj. Too dangerous running. They're probably going to try just to keep a contained rush over there. Let Tanner Williford loose probably, and keep the ball in front of him.
They may go
Nobody's on the 2nd receiver down here.
Yeah, nobody's got Allen covered yet.
Moving over late.
They may go back to Zion, the sophomore, and give him another shot at it. Now Wright, still looking for more space, flings one out here, has a wide open DeGraffenried. 1st down.
That was a great job by Dalen DeGraffenried of settling in the open spot in the zone. A smart senior receiver that just sees an opening, settles down, and then you got Taj Wright, who I don't know how much quarterback he's played in his life, but found that open receiver and delivered a strike. Huge 1st down for the Wolfpack.
What a salient point you make, but DeGraff and Reed just knew exactly where to kind of hang out, knew the talent level of his quarterback, what he can pull off, and he does. 1st and 10. Here come the Wolfpack. Handoff to Alexander Williams. He's starting to feel it. He cuts back upfield against the grain, breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles, and it's 4 Mustangs that have to take him down at the 32-yard line.
All right, and we've seen Ridgeview have a lot of success with their running game here with the last couple carries. They've got Jesse Cruz, who's probably their most experienced guy up front, very quiet leader. Jacob Martin and Jacob Zavala, 2 of the most improved kids in the entire program. So the development of that Ridgeview offensive line will really be critical for him this year under the leadership of Nate Odell, who's coaching them.
1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line inside Mustang territory. Wright looks back, has a quick word with Elijah Alexander Williams. They hand it off to Alexander Williams. Tried a little bit of misdirection, did not work against the Mustangs. Nice job out there, Elijah Hudson and Williford, and on the tackle.
All right, Stockdale has shown some serious resilience here. Ridgeview's made some big plays, but Stockdale's up for the task, getting a huge play there on 1st down, getting a 2-yard loss on a inside run.
2nd and 12. Under 7 to go in the first half. Taj Wright still at quarterback. This time, communication, fumble! Woo! Just didn't have the timing right.
They had, the blocking was good up there. Ooh. There was a hole, but the timing and a little bit of sloppy play there by Ridgeview. And again, they're in a 3rd and long situation. Taj has bailed him out a couple times.
Another miscommunication in that backfield, and that ball was on the grass. Yeesh.
Looks like Ridgeview's going to take a timeout, settle things down.
That gives me an opportunity. Take a second to welcome everybody again. If you're just getting here, whether you're watching this in your living room, your kitchen, on the phone somewhere, in the garage, at this game, at the North Centennial game with our other crew, we want to welcome you. I'm Vance Palm, Rich Cornford here. Victoria's running so many different facets of tonight from about 8 feet away. Miguel's all over our tech. And Kevin Willie running camera. This is the U.S. Army and Kelly 95.3 game of the week. We also want to sincerely thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza. We will have our Tony's Pizza player of the game, and whomever we choose, that player, that student athlete, he'll get a special day at school next week. Kern High School District, the representative, will show up at school and hand him his winnings. It was the great T-shirt and a pizza gift certificate, all in a box from Tony's Pizza. So sooner or later tonight, Coach, we'll have to come up with a player of the game. Not a clue right now. Sure.
Probably somebody on defense, because we got a 0-0 game right now.
Wouldn't that be great? Every time we've done that in the past, we're pretty popular guys when we give it to a defensive player, because, we're not just spreading the love with those uber-talented spotlight guys. Some of those guys in the trenches, always make a huge difference. And as we say that, we look at this defensive front for Stockdale and who they have out there. They've done a nice job, and they've weathered the storm on some of these big strikes, and they seem ready to go after this timeout. 3rd and 14 from the 36 for the Wolfpack. Taj Wright at quarterback, and right behind him, Alexander Williams.
Watch out for number 9, Anthony Ramirez, the tight end. He's the tight end, but he can flat out fly. One of the top hurdlers in town last year.
He's at the top of your screen. Wright in trouble again. Stops, throws across his body. It's up, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mason Wright. So Taj Wright is picked off by Mason Wright. Another great stance by the Stockdale Mustangs. And now we have Taj down again, and he's slow to get up. Flag on the play at the 45-yard line. So Taj up slowly. Here's the call. Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer against the
Well,
Mustangs.
that brings back memories of last year when Stockdale would play so well. Saw them play against Independence, and they lost the game because it should have been over, and they had a roughing the passer call against them. So huge momentum swing right there when they make a huge play, and it gets brought back because of a little bit of lack of discipline there defensively.
naturally my eyes had already moved and shifted downfield for the call. Didn't see who put the late hit on Taj, but it really doesn't make any difference. The penalty was called, and what most everybody on that Stockdale side of the football field is thinking should be their ball. It is not. It is now Ridgeview on the Stockdale 21-yard line that has a 1st and 10 with exactly 6 minutes to go here in this first half. Wow.
And Stockdale's got, hopefully they're not thinking, oh no, here we go again. You know, you don't want that negative mentality. You want to see this as an opportunity to prove that this is a new season and that you can overcome that adversity.
Well said, Coach. And here it is, that opportunity. Again, 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Right. Fakes to the right, rolls back to his strong side, has a man wide open, throws it, and it is dropped. And there was just enough interference out there by Jeremiah Gradowitz that it bothered the optics for Anthony Ramirez. And what a strike by Taj Wright, but boy, you got to hand it to Jeremiah Gradowitz. Hung in there, got enough noise in there to make that a disturbance.
Stockdale has been solid against the run. They kept the ball in front of them for the most part in the passing game.
He almost picked that off, Coach.
Yeah, again, very well coached. Again, Brett Shelton's resume says that he was a defensive back at Sacramento State, and he's clearly done a great job working with these safeties.
2nd and 10 now for the Wolfpack. 5:53 to go in the first half. The crowd getting a little restless, a bit pensive. I see some consternation on some parents' face down there. Maybe a heavy dose of Taj Wright right now. No, he hands the ball off to Alexander Williams, and Stockdale all over it, shut it down at the line of scrimmage.
You know, another 3rd and long. And, you know, Stockdale was 2-8 last year. But 2-8 when you play in the SWYL is not 2-8 for most places. I mean, it's still a really good program. That SWYL is loaded with great football teams. Ridgeview has been dominant in the SYL for, you know, since Manning took over essentially. But that SWYL, you play great teams week in and week out, and it battle hardens you. And these Stockdale kids aren't going to back down.
That's a great point, Coach. Right on it. 3rd and 10 officially. They're back at the 21 again. 5:12 left in this first half. Taj Wright again has Alexander Williams behind him. Looks back over at the sidelines for just a second. And, oh my goodness, I was wondering. It was getting close. It was getting close.
And that's probably an example of a kid that hasn't played a lot of quarterback and doesn't know to, you know, look at that back judge. And when he starts doing that, you've got 5 seconds to snap the ball. And, you know, he missed that signal that time.
So that's no small penalty. Yes, they do have the uber-talented Taj Wright, but 3rd and 15 is 3rd and 15 anywhere.
And you're wondering about the field goal range as well. Right now, you're looking at a 42-yard field goal. If you want to go that, you know, if they're not successful on this play.
Let's see. Wright looks to his left the entire time. Flushed out of the pocket again. Has one target that he wants to go to. He does, and it's caught out there by Alexander Williams, well short of the first down, and some bruising licks at the end of that play. A couple of really big pops in there, and one of them is from the big fella, Christopher Cherry, 6 foot 250, came in to finish that play off, number 56. So now it is 4th and 6, right around there.
They're not bringing out the kicker as of yet. 4th and 5, they could maybe try a hard count here and then burn a timeout if it doesn't work. Or, you know, when you got Taj Wright back there, anything can happen.
4:20 remaining here in this first half. Wright stands at the 20-yard line. Alexander Williams behind him. Bootleg to the opposite side. Floats one out. There's a touchdown.
Wow.
And it's caught out there by Dalen DeGraffenried. Senior to senior, beautiful play. No flags. And everybody looked calm, cool, and collected on that 4th down.
Well, you had Taj booting to his right, and he's a left-hander, so that's a little difficult. But DeGraffenried once again settles in that end zone in between the safeties, all right? Instead of running through and getting himself covered, he saw the opening settled, and Taj found him with a strike. So well-designed, well-executed play there by Ridgeview in a critical situation.
Well, it took 20 minutes of clock time to have our first score with 4 minutes to go here in this first half. Here's the extra point. It's up, and it's through, and a flag is roughing the kicker at the very end, and the officials in early to get it. And now
we got a little pushing and shoving.
Fabian saying, hey, look, you can't run me over. And the kick was up and it was good and it was through, so we'll figure out the penalty situation here in a second. 7-0 Ridgeview. We'll take a quick break. You're watching all of this here on Kern High Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile.
And I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
Welcome back, everybody. Vance Palm, Rich Cornford. Victoria Valencia is here. How about the track star himself, Miguel Garcia here, and you've also got Kevin Willie, who's the elder statesman of the championship. They will be honored this fall up at Bakersfield College. So Stan, thank you for everything you do for us, and congratulations on what's going to be a fun afternoon and evening at Memorial Stadium. 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack. Right, drops back, flushed out of the pocket for a second. Flag on the play here, and it's probably going to be a holding, but Tosh still wants to have some fun. Flicks one out here, floats it out. It's thrown up, and it is incomplete. Flag thrown in the early part of that pass play. I believe it's probably a holding call.
I think Taj probably ran about 1.5 miles on that play.
It is holding, so the ball will get pushed back a little bit.
Where Manning's 220 Tuesdays come in handy there with their conditioning program. He looks no worse for wear. If I'd run that far, I'd be gasping for breath.
No comment from me.
So, you know, what we're getting from Ridgeview right now is a lot of, you know, a lot of this, a lot of that, and then a big strike, you know, happening right now. I'd like to see them try to settle some consistency. Obviously, with 1.5 minutes left, you're going to be throwing the ball on every down.
Ball spot at the Wolfpack 49.
But you know, this situation, I think I'm looking at Dalen DeGraffenried again or Anthony Ramirez. Those are probably his top 2 receiving threats out there.
Ball's been moved back into Wolfpack territory. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Right has Thompson, jog by him for a second. They hand the ball off, bobbled for a second by Alexander Williams, and he stopped at midfield. Clock will continue to tick.
Handoff to Alexander Williams.
And Coach Manning will use it. He will call it.
Elijah Hudson.
I think in that situation, you're thinking that Stockdale might be a little bit in the pass rush mode, and you can slip by him with your back, pick up about 10 yards. But Stockdale, again, playing very good defensively, fundamental defense. You know, the out-of-system play that Taj made, you can't draw up a defense for that. But when they've been able to draw up and play a base defense, they've been really tough to move the ball on.
1:18 left in this first half. We are at Ridgeview High School. Late start tonight due to the excessive heat. So we are coming up at a 10 o'clock halftime here. Stockdale really's played a really nice football game. And early on, the first drive, Ridgeview marched 65 yards down to very close to pay dirt, and no dice. The Mustangs hold. They march back down the field, and they had some tough luck of their own. A couple of penalties, stubbed themselves in the toe, and then a couple of quick scores by the Wolfpack has put this a 14-0 marker with a minute left here in this first half. And this young man fumbles the ball again, but Taj Wright has been nothing short of spectacular. Ball picked off almost. Oh, goodness. Zeke Armijo waiting in there, and he almost had that and got banged up a little bit. But when I have seen with Taj rolling to his right as a left-hander, when he turns to set up, there's about a second in there that those DBs are able to kind of look and see. Not saying that you can do a whole lot against Taj, but when he does have to turn his body real quick, boy, Zeke was waiting for that one.
Yeah, he was staring down to Graffenried that time, and Zeke read it and nearly picked it off.
All right, 54 seconds. Now it's 3rd and 19. Wright takes the handoff, drops straight back now, holds on to it, floats it out there, and look at this, a catch, but he's going to keep going. DeGraffenry takes a big hit, finally gets brought down. Nice open field tackle by Burkhart, but that first big contact did nothing to Double D.
Well, you had Mason Wright out there who had him teed up, but Mason Wright is 150 pounds and DeGraffenry nearly 200. So you better wrap that big guy up when you do that. He went for the kill shot without wrapping up, and they suffered for it.
And now all of a sudden with 36 seconds and counting, it's 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, but we know Taj can flick it in from there. They come back over here, and they pass it to Thompson. Thompson looks to get out of bounds, and he does. So a nice play.
Smart play by Thompson to get out of bounds. He milked that play for all of the yards it was worth and was smart enough to jump out of bounds, stop the clock, give him, with 25 seconds here, as long as you're getting first downs or out of bounds, you're going to be all right. Fabian Guillen is the kicker if that situation is necessary, and he's a good kicker. But we've seen Manning already go for it twice on 4th down, once successfully, once unsuccessfully.
2nd and 5. From the 19-yard line. It's a quiet stadium. They've been lulled into it, and then some spectacular plays breaks them out of it. And that is an overthrow and a big hit at the end of it. Oh, goodness. Chris Thompson got popped by Nathaniel Treba, and it was a big, big hit. The ball was overthrown, and I think that my guess is Chris Thompson did not think there would be any part of a play because it was thrown so high, but
looked like he might have taken a blow to the head there.
Truba came in and laid the hit. So with 21 seconds, we have a stoppage in play. For those of you just getting here, the score is 14-0. Ridgeview on what will be a 3rd and 5 is going to probably try to take another shot at it. The clock is stopped now with everybody paying close attention to Chris Thompson there. Took a big hit at the end of the play. There was no flag. At halftime, we will have our cameras focused on the football field to show you the mighty Wolfpack marching band. And he's up, and crowd's letting him hear it. Chris Thompson.
All right.
Chris Thompson.
Marcus Levels, the trainer out here. Yeah, did a good job with the kids.
Might have taken one right in the midsection there, Coach.
All right. Glad he's all right.
Yep.
All right, so with 21 seconds left, looking at 2nd and 5, you're
Should
telling
be third,
your quarterback.
Coach. I don't think the scoreboard has it right.
Okay, so 3rd and 5. Telling your quarterback, hey, you can throw all over the field, but it needs to be for a first down because that'll stop the clock. Give you some other plays. But anything short of a first down, you kind of have to get in rush mode on. So don't take a sack here, which sack and Taj Wright is very tough to do.
Strong right side. 3 receivers and Alexander Williams on Taj Wright's right side. But he does have Anthony Ramirez on his strong side, the left side. He looks at Ramirez, wants to go there first, but stops, pops, rolls back around, flushed out of the pocket. Now he rolls up to the 30, stops, floats one out, and touchdown. And Zion Hall able to make up for things earlier in the game, and the C's off the snide. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
So now you see a sophomore doing a good job with the scramble drill. Taj is running around, and he finds an opening, uses his speed. This time looks the ball all the way in. He's got really good hands. It's nice to see him recover after the drop on what would have been a sure touchdown earlier in the game.
Wow. Taj Wright.
Fabian Guillen in for the extra point.
I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say his name. How's that, Coach? I'll just say his name and leave it at that. We're trying to get everybody set up here. Zach Pierce has to run in there to get ready for the PAT squad. Low snap, look out, bobbled. So now all of a sudden we have Justin Henzo. What better guy to have it? Can he make something magical happen? And he does.
He does.
Wow. The 2-point conversion. Devin McKee. Henzo to McKee for the 2-pointer, just like that.
Boy, when it rains, it pours. You think of Stockdale and how close they could be to really this being maybe a 7-7 game, right?
But interception called back.
Yeah, crazy stuff happening. Taj fumbles and then runs a million yards for a touchdown. They bobble the snap. When Stockdale bobbles the snap, it costs them. When Ridgeview bobbles them, they get a bonus point.
Coaching staff, I think a little flummoxed over whether or not it should have been a call from a bobble while he was on his knee. Can he continue to progress with the football? That's what I'm reading, trying to read hand signals down there. They were talking about the bobble of Henzo.
I think that is the one situation in high school football where you can get off your knee and move with the football as a holder.
Coach Shelton, you can just see the frustration from here. As you just mentioned, Coach, if you're just getting to this game on Kern High Network and you see the score, or when it gets called at halftime around the county by the other announcers, it is not indicative of this entire first half.
No, it's certainly not, because for the first 15, 16, 17 minutes of the game, it was dead even, and Stockdale had probably outgained Ridgeview at that point. But boy, you go back to that mishold on the snap of that field goal, not being able to put points on the board, and kind of a mental deflation there.
Here we are. It'll be kicked off again. Fabian Guillen. And that you cannot do. He was on his knee and then got up to take off with it. So they'll get one play here with 10 seconds left. We'll see. 22-0 is the score.
All right, and I think you'll see Taj Wright in a deep center field here, and they're going to turn loose Pierce in Texas on the pass rush. So, for Stockdale to make a big play here is going to be tough. They're going to have to depend on that offensive line to give some protection over there and try and throw the ball over the top, which is obviously what Ridgeview is expecting.
Knee hit the ground at the 34-yard line.
Now what you could do with 10 seconds here is run an intermediate route. They've got timeouts left. You get the timeout, and then maybe you take your shot, because that should be open.
They stay on the ground with it. And Kylan Davidson. And that is going to do it for the first half. A 22-0 score, but a much different football game than what that total would put up for the first half. Hope you're enjoying all of this. For Rich, I'm Vance. We'll be back right after this short message with some Wolfpack Marching Band here on Kern High Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile.
And I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere.
Ridgeview Wolfpack football. Please direct your attention to the field where the Wolfpack Vanguard is prepared for an entertaining halftime performance. Tonight, the Vanguard is going to stand and play the most classic pep band tunes of all time. Louie Louie and Hey Baby. This year, the Vanguard is under the field command of Drum Major Matthew Nakua. Drum Major, is the Vanguard ready to dazzle and delight the audience? Here they are, your Wolfpack Vanguard.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile.
And I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special. One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock at no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good, and you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses. Having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
Only animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story.
Once again, everybody, welcome back. Great to have all of you guys checking us out tonight on KernHighNetwork.com. Pleasure to have Victoria, Miguel, Kevin, Rich, myself, Vance Palm up here on top of the announcer's booth at Ridgeview High School. We're at halftime. The late start gets us at 10:25. This is a real, true Friday night. Tell you what, Rich, if you're a freshman at Ridgeview High, it's your first home game, you're 14, 15 years of age, and your first home game, it's 10:30 at halftime, man. This is nice. Nice. We won't be home till midnight, Mom. Late start tonight with, the weather precautions. A tightly contested, hard-fought football game for 24 minutes, but right now it's 22-0. And as we mentioned before, it's one of those scenarios where if you come in and you just get to your phone or just get to your computer, 22-0, what happened? Well, Coach, what happened?
Well, for Stockdale, it's a case of shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, they really controlled the ball well there in the first quarter. They stuffed Ridgeview on a 4th and short at the goal line, drove the length of the field themselves, were in pretty much chip shot field goal range, and a bad snap got them, cost them some points there. They continue to play good defense.
Had an interception.
Yeah, their offense kept going, but at the strangest times, Ridgeview would make something out of nothing. And the main guy doing that is Taj Wright, a guy who, brings back memories of Steve Wofford, Ryan Matthews, Kashmir Allen, if you ever watched him play at Tulare Union, guys that can make something out of nothing. And the 65-yarder that we experienced over here was a great example of that. There's no defense for that.
You mentioned a young man that you coached at West High School, Ryan Matthews. I misspoke earlier. I was thinking of Sumlin and said Matthews. You were the head coach for Ryan Matthews. I remember calling a game on television. Kevin was there. We're at Memorial Stadium. And Ryan Matthews had such an unbelievable game that at the end of the first half, he'd had amassed this unbelievable amount of yards on the ground. I cracked a joke on the air saying the only thing he hasn't done is throw a touchdown pass. And on cue, he throws like a 45-yard bomb to finish the first half. And it was against this Ridgeview Wolfpack. When someone like Ryan Matthews, a Taj Wright, a complete game changer like that, as you say, you can't put a game plan together to stop him every single time. A, what is that like to have as your player? And B, what's it like for a coaching staff that has to keep coming up with ways to try to slow him down? First of all, from your perspective, having a player like that.
Well, we're really fortunate with Ryan because he was such a selfless individual. When you got that much talent, it is very easy to have a humongous ego, but Ryan is very down to earth. He loved his teammates, didn't shunned the spotlight, really, just a humble kid. But boy, on the football field, he was a man amongst boys. Literally, you could put him anywhere on the field and he dominated. As a junior, he played outside linebacker for us and had 16 sacks. His senior year, 3,396 yards rushing, and out in the third quarter of a lot of those games.
Yeah.
And he's coaching high school football right now.
That's what you talked about. He plays in the NFL, and now he's out. He's coaching high school football down in San Diego.
So, I'd love to get reunited with him and have him be my coordinator someday because he's just such a special person, on top of it. But, trying to defend a guy like that, you have to overplay him. you know, you have to put all your chips in that one basket over there.
And you always know he's on. You always have to be watching that one player.
And fortunately for us, when I was at West, we had a sophomore at that time, Deion Curry, who was explosive, and we had some other good receivers, Deontay Tomlin and Tyrone Courtney, who could make plays. You know, here at Ridgeview with Dalen DeGraffenried, and we've seen Zion Hall, you know, guys that are very explosive too. It makes it tough to overplay Taj because they've got other weapons out there, and we've seen Taj can throw the ball about a quarter mile.
Stockdale gets the football back to start the second half. The discussion thread in that locker room, I'm assuming, had to have something that touched on, guys, we're still in this, believe it or not. Don't let that scoreboard, dictate your thought process now as we go out into the second half.
Yeah, and it's good that they get the ball first. They show when they're patient and when they're balanced, they can move the ball against this stiff Ridgeview defense. They've probably got 150 yards of offense over here.
And I would imagine Herrera's first quarter completion percentage was very high, as you talked about during the break. He had a great first quarter.
He did have a great first quarter, and they were controlled timing routes where he got the ball in and out of his hands, mixed with a good running game. I thought Eric Smith did a masterful job there. But this is the trouble. You get down a little bit, there's a little bit against the clock, you start pressing. They weren't nearly as balanced in the last 4 minutes. They went 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. Ridgeview exploded on it.
And that gives us a 22-0 score. We are about to get started here again in the second half. Pleasure to have everybody watching us here on the Kern High Network Game of the Week. This is the U.S. Army and Kelly 95.3 Game of the Week. We want to thank, of course, the United States Army, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. We could never do this without our good friends, Tony's Pizza. We'll have our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. That will be awarded. We'll let you know who that's going to be. And, of course, Motor City. Thank you, Motor City. Our other game tonight being called on the Kern High Network is at North High School. Centennial at North. Haven't seen any updates. Looking for them. Can't find them. Don't know what the score is. Like to know what's happening over there. And a full slate of games tonight. There is no shortage of action this evening around the city.
Friday nights in America, it's an awesome time of year. High school football is what it's all about, and we're fortunate we live in a town that does such a great job covering it. And again, my hat's off to the Kern High School District for allowing me to do this broadcast. But if you've ever seen the Achieve magazine, it's always extraordinary. It's an award-winning magazine. They really highlight the students here. Daniel Viveros is on the cover of the latest issue there, champion shot putter from Liberty, and great offensive and defensive lineman. Don't want to be the guy whose kid's got to block that kid come Friday nights, because he is a monster.
Coach, I appreciate you mentioning this Achieve magazine. It's the talk of the town. It's just a beautiful, beautiful statement to our student athletes here. They have a great section of alumni players at each school. Hey, look at this, Ryan Matthews at West High School.
I believe there's a picture of a Vance Palm with the perfect form on a jump shot in there.
There is. We did say these were flying off the shelf, right? What's crazy is I didn't realize that my shot was right next to our man Miguel Garcia, the sprinter hurdler for the East High Blades. So Achieve magazine showing the love. And here we go, second half underway. It'll be Stockdale, and our first full kick by Fabian from the Ridgeview side. The ball's taken at the 13-yard line, and tackle made at about the 23-yard line. Burkhart gets brought down as we get into the third quarter here.
All right, Jolly Burris on the tackle. We've talked to him a little bit with his pass rush. Sean Allen, the super sophomore, also making plays. This Ridgeview defense is stacked with speed. I was the head track coach last year at Ridgeview, and it's nice to have that speed when you're the head track coach. Helps to win the SWYL championship.
We have another sophomore out there. Is it Mecky Deans?
Mackay.
Mackay Deans. I apologize to Mackay Deans, another sophomore. They throw in the seam, and it's caught out there, and he's not down yet. Ooh, boy. And Mason Wright with the grab. And a flag. Oh, they're going to say they got him. That Eddie got him in the back, in the neck. So some yardage added on to it.
Eddie Jackson's a guy
Face
that
mask.
can really play sideline to sideline there from the middle spot. Haven't heard his name a whole lot tonight, but really kind of the leader of that Wolfpack defense from the spot there in the middle. His dad is one of the assistant coaches over there and was a heck of a good football player in his own right.
So the Mustangs, after one play, have the ball
Ball will be spotted at the 45-yard line.
5 yards shy of midfield, just what the doctor ordered here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and look for Stockdale to be real patient, real balanced here.
Adrian Herrera, beautiful play. A run right up the middle, right between the hash marks, and it's taken by Davidson. And if they don't give him the first, it's right at the crest of a first down, and they move it. He picks him up.
Oh, wow. You know, my favorite down to call plays as an offensive coordinator is 2nd and 1. So you'd almost prefer that over the first down right there. But, you know, you see Ridgeview, I think, still has their ears back a little bit. They look like they were all in pass rush mode, and a good call by offensive coordinator for Stockdale, Eric Smith, to sink that ball underneath that pass rush.
You've got Mackay Deans out here on the flats trying to guard Brandon Dunn, but while all that's happening, Davidson for a loss. Matchups are fantastic out on the edges tonight.
Yeah, you know, and if I'm Stockdale and I see they got a sophomore at cornerback, you know, you might try to test that guy, but these aren't ordinary sophomores. You know, they're pretty talented guys that can run and play physical, but you know, this is his first varsity football game, so I think I might take a shot. You got pretty much one-on-one coverage down here.
2nd and 12. Herrera takes the snap, doesn't look this way, stops, throws across the middle, and boy, there should be flags there, and they're everywhere. He was drugged down, and I'm saying he and Evan Burkhart. So flags fly everywhere where the receiver was, they believe, drugged down. Some of the body language and mimicking going on by the Wolfpack players is that he tripped himself. But 3 flags, 3 refs, 6 eyes. They got it.
All right, and the break's starting to go Stockdale's way. Getting another first down off of a penalty, and a good call there. I think that was pass interference. And this is just what the doctor ordered for Stockdale. They needed some success, and they're creating it. Again, quick passing game over there. Herrera.
Coach Herrera standing in the pocket, stood in there to the very, very end. And, you know, he's 5'10", 147 pounds. He's in there amongst those big, heavy trees, and he stood in there and fired it. First and 10.
His first game as a varsity quarterback. Very impressed with him.
Floats to his left. Oh, had a man wide open deep. And Deontay Davidson, number 8, is back there going, ay, I was there. He was wide open. And he'll probably go whisper in his quarterback's ear, and that they'll remember that route pattern, that's for sure.
And I think that ball was dropped out there. Right?
Oh, man.
That's what they were so successful at, you know, these 5-yard completions early on.
So it's Burkhart and Deontay Davidson out on the far left. Dunn down here below us. They hand the ball off. It's a run play right between the 2 hash marks. Davidson gets to about the 28-yard line.
That was a good cut by Davidson. You know, not every play has to be a 20, 30-yarder to be a good play. He got as much out of that run as a kid could get. You know, you're in a situation, 3rd and 7, probably at this point in the game, and in this territory, I'm thinking it's 4-down territory. So I might run a play here to set me up. You know, you don't necessarily have to throw for the first down if you're going to plan on going up for it on 4th.
Herrera fakes the handoff. He runs to his left, fires, and it is dropped. 2 receivers in the same area.
Boy, I got to think there was a miscue for
that
very reason.
Pass is incomplete.
There was Burkhart and Deontay Davidson right next to each other.
All right, we've seen Ridgeview do some magic on some 3rd and 4th down. Now it's a chance for Stockdale to make a play here.
And, you know, Coach Herrera, he has the wheels. He can get out there and make something happen with his legs.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete. I'm thinking that, you know, your slot receivers running out routes. They've been really precise. That's been their best play so far.
Ridgeview holds back. They float one out,
All
though,
right.
and it's caught, and it is at the, 17, 18-yard line. The Ridgeview defensive front just kind of stood up and didn't put any pressure on Herrera whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, one of the hardest things to do down after down is to pass rush.
Yeah.
It does get you tired.
Oh,
First game of the season here, a little warm out there. You know, these guys start to get going. And, again, this is what Stockdale looked like in the first half when they were methodically moving the chains. You know, a touchdown right here, and they're right back in this game.
Yes, they are. 9:23 remains in this third quarter. Clock's been moving along here since the third quarter has started. 1st and 10 at the Wolfpack 17-yard line. People taking notice again of this offense, and this time they swallow up Kylan Davidson, and he gets nothing. Everybody in purple and gold up front said we have him.
I think that was they had both inside backers blitzing off that, and they did a good job of stuffing every gap over there.
Loss of 3.
Tommy Strickland is one of the defensive tackles. He's another sophomore in there. He was probably our best defensive player last year. Played defensive end for us, playing D tackle right now, and helping stuff that inside.
2nd and 13. They lost 3 on that. 8.5 left here in this third quarter. 22-0 right now, Ridgeview. Stockdale's got to get on the board. They come at him, but this time he floats it out there, and route's not crisp, and a ball that was thrown completely away from anybody brings up a 3rd and 13.
Yeah, it looked like he thought he was throwing a smash route combination because he threw it to the corner. That's where the outside receiver does a hitch and the inside receiver goes deep to the corner over there. The quarterback threw it deep to the corner, but nobody was running there.
Quick little meeting on the sidelines between Herrera, Burkhardt, and Davidson. They all look at their wrists and say, okay, let's go.
Yeah, and boy, this is a situation where Ridgeview will probably pull its ears back, blitz again, might see the screen.
He's going to have to call it quickly. He does, gets it off. No, they don't come at him hard, but they get him fumble, ball on the ground. And it's still on the ground, and the big fella's got it. The big fella. Will he get in? He does.
Wow, again.
Are you kidding me?
For Stockdale, a great drive. Ends up 6 points for Ridgeview.
Recovery for Ridgeview, touchdown.
I want to say his name, but I don't have his name. Coach, who in the world's that kid?
I wish I knew.
Maximus Hidalgo.
All right. Again, showing the depth that Ridgeview has. He's a backup in there. Boy, again for Stockdale, they've got to be thinking, here we go again. They've played so great. You know, for 80% of the game, they've been going toe-to-toe with Ridgeview, but the big plays have all gone against them in the most critical moments.
Hidalgo.
Ian on for the extra point.
With a 70-yarder. Here's the PAT, and it's good.
So if we had said which Ridgeview player is going to have the longest touchdown, I think you probably could have got some pretty good odds on Maximus over there.
Oh my gosh.
Hidalgo with the 80-yard fumble recovery for a Ridgeview touchdown.
I sold him 10 yards short. He's an 80-yarder.
Scoop and score.
80 yards for Big Max.
Your score, Ridgeview 29, Stockdale 0.
29-0, 8:08 to go here in this third quarter. And on some of the more unbelievable plays, the deficit continues to grow as Ridgeview comes up with new methods of exciting this crowd. Sure, we expect stuff from Taj Wright, but I don't know if Maximus Hidalgo was the name. I mean, when you're having to find his name during the play, that pretty much tells you that's not what you expected. Rifling through stacks and stacks of paper. Boy, And he's getting some high fives from all the big fellas over here, all the big boys going over to say, hey, my man.
Living the dream,
Right.
the lineman's dream, seeing all that open field in front of you.
Oh, what a great highlight to start his season this year. Max Hidalgo. Here comes the kickoff. And that's a long one. Burkhart back to the 2-yard line. What can he do? Let's see if he finds some real estate. Evan Burkhart. Oh, man, what a big, tough hit at the end. 32-yard line. Wow.
Good job finishing your run right there. There's a kid that's got no quit in him. Evan Burkhart, just a junior right now. One of their leading touchdown receiver last year with 5. You know, that was a nice kickoff return. You like to see that. You know, stranger things have happened. They've been able to move the ball. We were talking about how a score on that last drive would put them right back in it. Fortunately, the score went the wrong way. But again, they've had so many positives. To be down 29-0 is almost inconceivable.
8 minutes exactly to go in the third quarter. It's a handoff to start this series. Ball's taken by Nicholas Johnson.
Handoff to Nicholas Johnson.
Yeah, Eric Smith's got to stay patient over here, got to keep it mixed up. Stockdale looks like they might be, you know, obviously you give a play like that, they're a little down, so a couple first downs help get the momentum back in their favor.
Herrera has Kylan Davidson on his right hip. Herrera drops back, steps in the pocket, flings one out to the far side. Oh, goodness, should have been picked off. And King Ellis, another sophomore, had that one basically kind of just fall off his fingertips.
So you're looking at Ridgeview secondary littered with sophomores over here. You got to think the future's bright for the Pac too, as is the present.
Second and 10. Brandon Dunn, bottom of your screen, left corner. Again, one-on-one with Makai Deans. They stay looking at that far side, and this time it's connected.
Boy, great
Very
throw.
close. Caught out there by Deontay. And it's just close enough to make it interesting. 3rd and 3, I think.
Boy, you just see the timing, how well he takes his drop, puts the back foot in the ground, and delivers the ball.
8-yard gain on the play, 4th down.
All right, looks like Stockdale will punt. And you know, choose your poison. You got Sean Allen, I think, back there, or
Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson and DeGraff and Reed.
Will he boot it that far again? Yes, he will. Taken by Thompson. He's looking for some room. He switches gears to another direction. Off he goes. One move, finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Great finishing tackle work out there. Good job by Ryan Forrest and also Anthony Hernandez hustling, making that tackle.
Taken down by Ryan Forrest.
You got to keep running. You got to keep going after them with this Ridgeview team. They could just switch directions. And next thing you know, they're 40 yards away. So great job by Stockdale not quitting on the tackle.
46-yard line, 1st down. Wolfpack.
6:17 to go in this third quarter. It's all Wolfpack right now as far as the score goes, 29-0. But they're up against a pesky Stockdale football team.
Interested to see if Ridgeview goes into run mode, but doesn't look like it. They're going to put the ball up in the air again.
Right, floats one, and it should be, and is picked off. So there's a nice pickoff out there by Brandon Dunn. Now Dunn looking for some space. Can Dunn cut back up? And he does. And Dunn knocked down at the 40-yard line. The flags come out, and now they're just going to keep adding to it. So an errant pass overthrown. Dunn picks it off, and he shoved well out of bounds I don't think it was with any malicious intent, but it is what it is when you're 4 or 5 feet out.
Enough of a shove.
Right.
Give him a bonus 15.
So
penalty marker down.
Coach Manning having a word with his quarterback.
Yeah, I think Taj, Anthony Ramirez is a guy that had a couple big, long plays in the scrimmage and really hasn't had much success tonight. And I think Taj was just trying to force him one there, and it cost him pretty big.
So, well-played interception by Brandon Dunn. Wasn't as easy as it looked. Over the shoulder, hauled it in. And just the grace and ease at which he maneuvered down the field with the ball in his hands. Boy, if you're a Stockdale fan, you'd like to see him handle that rock a little bit.
Yeah, and Coach Shelton had described Brandon Dunn as a team leader, and leadership starts with performance. And Brandon Dunn is a guy that's still playing hard here, still making plays.
We may see something happen. Again, we talked about it against Makai Deans, the sophomore, one-on-one. But again, Herrera on the run. Did he throw it, or is it a fumble? Will it get picked up again by Big Max?
All right, that's Jolly again.
It is Maximus Hidalgo with his second fumble recovery.
That's Jolly's second sack of the night. You see the speed that he can come off the edge with. That's really his ball game. And boy, Stockdale's done a lot of things right, but protecting that football here has not been a strong point.
Maximus Hidalgo making his case for Tony's player pizza of the game. Tony's pizza player of the game. The Tony's pizza player of the game. He's making his case. Taj Wright saying, look, I'm doing everything for that Tony's pizza player of the game. And this cat picking up fumbles, returning them 80 yards. Goodness. Speaking of Wright. Misdirection play does not work. Handled perfectly by Stockdale. A big tackle out there by Christian Duenas. Duenas throws him to the ground.
Yeah. Nice penetration there by Duenas. Okay, perfectly timed. A lot of times that misdirection guy's eyes get lost and they run right by the ball. He did a good job of locating the ball there and making a big play. But can Stockdale put 3 good plays together in a row?
Clock is ticking, 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. Wright in the shotgun at the 35-yard line. Option pitch maybe, he keeps it, he runs, he picks up 6, 7, 8 yards, gets to midfield.
With the keeper.
Picked up 10 yards, but they were behind the line of scrimmage originally to start, so I would say 3rd and 4. Right around there. Oh, a little bit further back. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. About 5. So.
3rd down and 4.
All right. So this is a big down for Stockdale. Trying to get him off the field. Trying to get him to punt so they can get the ball back. Get some momentum going again. You got Elijah Alexander-Williams check back in the game at running back.
It's a run play, and it's a big run play for a first down. Elijah Alexander-Williams really putting it to him and gets out about the 27-yard line. It took him about 1 step to the right to realize he wanted to go left. That's what he did. Picked up a big first down.
Good job. Good explosiveness by the offensive line there. I think you can see a little bit of the effects of an ankle injury that Elijah Alexander-Williams had. He didn't scrimmage last week because of it. But has run the ball effectively tonight. I expected him to have a few more carries than he's had, but he's done a good job with the ones he's got.
He stands behind Wright. Wright fakes it, keeps it. Good block, and he gets out about the 15-yard line, so a heavy hit. Dalen DeGraffenried
That's right with the keeper.
With a big hit on Elijah Hudson, but Hudson back up on his feet.
We've seen DeGraffenried a couple times make big blocks on people, showing that he's not a one-dimensional player. You love those receivers that take their blocking as serious as their receiving.
Okay, set 1st and 10 again, Coach. Clock stopped when he went out of bounds, so just total control right now by the Wolfpack. Wright looks back at Alexander Williams, first name Elijah. And it is Alexander Williams that gets it down to about the 7-8 yard line.
Running that zone scheme, a good job running patiently by Alexander Williams. Good job by the offensive line of everybody controlling their gaps over there, getting the push. 6 yards on first downs, a good play.
6-yard gain on the play. Second down.
2nd and 4.
Stockdale's looking maybe a little tired right now.
Yep.
Ridgeview's kind of
Read my
imposing
mind,
their will
Coach.
on him.
Read my mind. Not the cleanest snap and handoff.
Handoff to Alexander Williams.
And a couple of big Mustangs in there to make the tackle. Clock will dip below the 4-minute mark now. 3:59 and counting. 29-0 Ridgeview over Stockdale at the tail end of the third quarter.
All right, looking at it. 3rd and 1 here, so you expect another dose of Elijah Alexander Williams or Hodge keeping it himself. Here goes Zion Hall.
Look at this, Zion gets into the end zone. 2nd touchdown for Zion. And now the Wolfpack up 35-0.
So many weapons. You know, Taj Wright is something special, but they've got other guys around him that make him even more so. You can't just gang up and put all eyes on him.
Ridgeview in command. Fabian Guillen to come in. And another bad snap, and Henzo again now picks it up, floats it in, and now Henzo takes the shot. Ball was picked off for whatever it's worth, so another PAT, no good. 35-0. We will take a break here on Kern High Network. It's all Ridgeview here in the late stages of the third quarter.
We're going to get a running clock now.
With 3:38 remaining in the third quarter, your score, Ridgeview 35, Stockdale 0.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
$35-0 is the score. Ridgeview over Stockdale. 3:38 to go in this third quarter. A late evening football game. The late start due to the heat. But now, Rich, what is this I feel blowing from the south? This is a beautiful, beautiful late summer wind. Nice.
Feels awesome.
Oh, look out. Well, it's going to be great field position for the Mustangs because the sure-handed Marcus Miller, the big fella, batted it down and
Marcus Miller recovers
landed on it. It's going to be 1st and 10 midfield. So it's been an evening of big fellas having their hands on the football. None more prestigious than Maximus Hidalgo. An 80-yard scoop and score that had Coach Cornford and I rummaging through our notes while he's rummaging downfield.
Well, you can't expect to stop Maximus Hidalgo. You just hope to contain him a little bit.
Right. You can't stop Max. Hard count by Herrera. It's a run play. Davidson up the middle. He gets hit hard. We have a new quarterback, actually, Joseph Hess. Joseph Hess in for the Stockdale Mustangs.
Yeah, and Joseph Hess is a junior. They split time pretty evenly in the scrimmage. You know, Herrera looked real sharp. Herrera looked real sharp for most of tonight. It's one of those things, build a little bit of depth here, but Hess is certainly a very capable quarterback. A little bit bigger than Herrera.
Under 3 to go. Hess fires one out this side. Quick throw out to, well, intended for Williford.
Incomplete, intended receiver number 44, Tanner Williford.
Yeah, and that's a pass route that they've been hitting pretty consistently tonight, and he just rushed it a little bit. When you look at those fearsome, foursome, or maybe the better analogy would be the purple people eaters there, that defensive line. You think of Alan Page and Carl Eller and
Jim
Marshall on that group over there. This Ridgeview Wolfpack's got a defensive line similar. Alan Page.
Hess drops back, looks left, throws right, floats it out there, and nobody there. Took a big hit as well. He was hit hard when he released it.
Intended for Deontay Davidson.
Kai Clayton got him.
Jeff Seaman, Bakersfield High.
I was just going to say, one of the linebackers for
Yeah.
that team was a VHS driller, Jeff Seaman.
4th down.
Well, 2:48 to go here in the third quarter, 35-0.
All right, a strange game in many ways.
It sure has been. It's been a unique start to week 1, game 1 of the season. Perfect deep snap. And another long punt. This one's taken at the 20. And good job by Stockdale to get that, cover that up.
Sean Allen there doing a good job of fielding that punt. Great coverage by Stockdale special teams.
Taken out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
So Henzo will come in. Some last-minute instructions from his head coach, Dennis Manning. Again, Henzo, a name we know well.
Yeah, threw for over 1,600 yards last year, 13 touchdown passes. So he really understands this offense. And you can do, he's not the runner that Taj is, obviously. I don't think anybody is. But can really mix it up and understands the system.
Henzo connects. Great pass out there to Sean Allen. Allen picks up the first down, stops the clock as he steps out of bounds.
Pushes him out of bounds. Out at the 39-yard line.
All right, we mentioned that last drive. The Stockdale defense looked a little fatigued. They got a couple guys going both ways up there. You see some, the hands on the hips and taking some deep breaths out there. This is a chance if you're Ridgeview, you want to just keep the pedal down.
Don't let up. Henzo stands in the shotgun, 35-yard line. Thompson in motion. Thompson, ball bobbles, still hangs on to it. Big hit.
Justin Henzo hands it off to number 5,
And a
Chris
nice
Thompson.
hit by Zeke Armijo.
Jason Guillen on the tackle.
I think another change this year is Dennis Manning
3-yard
is
gain on the play,
calling the
second
plays
down.
himself.
Yeah, I noticed that.
This season with help from upstairs here with Coach Tucker and Coach Moya. But he felt like he had a real good feel of these kids and what they can do and bring his years and years of coaching experience into play by calling it himself.
2nd and 8. It's oh goodness, big hit. It was a run play and the handoff was to Deans. But man, was he hit hard. And I believe
that Jaden Fletcher, or
I believe it was Nathaniel Crum, number 16. That was a hit. We've yet to hear from our friend down below, and I think that Crum is 5'9", 148, so he kind of snuck in behind everybody and just popped him. What a hit. 3rd and 8.
All right, Henzo's got an extremely strong arm, so if they're going to get man coverage, expect somebody going deep and Henzo trying to hit him.
Now Henzo rolls to his right. He sees the real estate needed, cuts back up and picks up the first down. What a nice play.
It was a good cut by Justin over there, cutting inside that, picking up the first down.
Nathaniel Driba with the stop. Big gain on the play. First down. Wolfpack.
Taj Wright, helmet off, over here on the sidelines, talking with some of his players. Enjoyed 3 superb quarters of football. Saw a lot out of Taj tonight.
Yeah, expected a lot, saw a lot, and definitely one of the top playmakers we've seen in town here in a while.
I guess. Clock continues to tick, below a minute here in the third quarter. Henzo, strong right side. Everybody packed in somewhat tight. He's going to keep it himself. And Henzo battles for a couple of yards.
Henzo keeps the ball. Gains about a yard.
All right, Jaden Fletcher coming in the game now at tailback as Ridgeview starts to substitute pretty liberally. Jaden is another kid that isn't real big. I'm guessing he's probably about 5'7", 140, but he can scoot. He's like trying to catch a water bug.
2nd and 9, and he's in the backfield behind Henzo. Could he get the call? We won't know till the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. 35-0. All Ridgeview on the scoreboard for week 1 in the 2018 season here in Kern High Network. Back right after this.
Stockdale 0.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning chili bear.
Henzo keeps.
All right, Henzo kept it there to start the fourth quarter.
We're at Ridgeview High School. I'm Vance Palm with Rich Cornford, Kevin Woolley on camera, Miguel Garcia handling all things tech, and the boss tonight, Double V. She is tweeting out feverishly. Henzo on a 3rd and 1. Wants to keep it himself. Can he get that one? It'll be close. No, he gets it. Second effort.
Henzo keeps again.
Yeah, Jaden Fletcher still waiting to get his first high school carry here. Henzo's kept the ball the last couple times.
With the takedown.
But the chains are moving, so
on the play.
it's the right direction for Ridgeview.
First down, Wolfpack.
Nick Ellis photographing this game this evening for the Kern High School District.
Nick was a long-time official that did a great job for this town.
Brings a great perspective from behind the lens. Henzo pitches it out, just tosses it backwards, and now Thompson looking for some room. Thompson gets hit hard at the 32-yard line.
Chris Thompson.
But Henzo just kind of let it fly.
Yeah, something that maybe should have been a 10-yard loss.
Chased out by number 52.
Want to thank the U.S. Army, Kern Schools, Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza. A look, Tony's Pizza selection tonight is no walk in the park.
There's
Kevin Willie, you better.
2-yard gain on the play.
Kevin
down.
will weigh in. Coach Cornford will get the majority of the weight in this.
Oh, the pressure. I got to go to school with these guys.
I didn't think about that. 2nd and 8. Henzo keeps again. Henzo now looking for some room. Henzo cuts back up and gets down to the 15-yard line.
Justin Henzo runs down to about the 16-yard line.
He's letting everybody know, hey, remember me?
Showing some good mobility and ability to move the chains here. Stockdale substituting. Again, they look a little tired and worn out over on the defensive side.
First down.
Been on the field a lot here from the second quarter on.
Henzo Thompson. This time doesn't work, gets swallowed up.
Chris Thompson.
Coach Cornford's waiting for Jaden Fletcher to get his first carry. Not happening yet.
Number 44, Tanner Williford with the tackle.
Jaden's been working hard, both in the classroom and on the football field here. Hopefully he'll get a little chance to shine.
Getting subbed out for Ramses Sandoval.
Loss of 9 on the play.
So Ramses Sandoval in.
I think he might have gone the wrong way on that last play. All right, so Ridgeview forced into a 2nd and long here.
2nd and 19 officially. Henzo takes the snap. Run play to the right. Big strong run by Sandoval, who we just mentioned.
Hand off to number 13, Ramses Sandoval.
All right, see if Henzo gets a chance to air it out or if they'll continue to run and settle for the field goal here.
5-yard gain on the play.
They just continue to grind clock on Stockdale.
3rd down.
Under 8 to go here. Henzo behind center, takes the snap. Sandoval again, brought down with a big hit by Anthony Hernandez. And coach, some of the other games going on tonight around the city where the experts weigh in on.
Gain of 3.
All right, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Looks like an empty set. Nobody in the backfield. They just motioned into the backfield now.
Henzo on a 4th and 11. Cuts back up, gets to the 1. Does he get in? He does not, but he picks up the first down. So Henzo certainly had his fair share of carrying that rock tonight.
Yeah, he's taking his opportunity, showing that he's got mobility too.
17-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Wolfpack.
Thought we may make history tonight, Kevin. I thought we may go into the midnight hour tonight. That would have been a first. That would have been a first. Okay, 1st and goal from the 1. I'm thinking Henzo wants to get in himself. Takes a big hit at the goal line, but I still believe he got in.
Yeah, he's in.
He is. Touchdown, Ridgeview.
Touchdown, Wolfpack. Justin Henzo with the key.
All right, one area of weakness that we've seen from the Wolfpack is in their special teams. We've had a couple bobbled snaps and over there on extra points. So see if they can get that squared away.
Also, Anthony Ramirez, that stellar tight end, he's been really walking gingerly in that left ankle for quite some time. He's out there.
Ridgeview's got a big game next week versus Liberty. You're going to want him to be at 100% in that one.
Henzo with the hold. This one's up and it's perfect.
Kick is good.
5.5 to go here. 42.
With 5:30 remaining.
0.
Your score. Ridgeview 42, Stockdale 0.
Coach, some of the other games tonight that were garnering attention throughout the city. We know about Centennial at North. The other game we're calling, Centennial up by a big margin there late. South at Independence. Great story, Independence High School coach Tyler going against a team at South who for the last 4 or 5 years now, it's been no joke. So South Independence, Wasco to Tehachapi, Golden Valley East. We hear East is up in that one. So it's going to be a really interesting year this year, Coach. Very interesting year.
Funny, another former player of mine, Duron Mackey, who went on and played at Boise State, is the defensive coordinator now at South High. This is his first game calling defense for them, so I'll be anxious to see how Duron fared. He was on those Valley Championship team at West High. He was an all-state linebacker for us. It's fun to watch him play against Ryan when he was at Boise State and Ryan was at Fresno.
Okay, Ridgeview up big, 42-0. they will kick off. And again, they hammer it off the hands of the frontman up there. And this time, again, it was Marcus Miller, but it ricocheted off and was covered up out there by Jason Guillen. So with a running clock scenario, we'll be out of here from the clock standpoint in less than 4 minutes. Again, we want to thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. They have been with us since day one, the very first step of the way that we moved forward with the Kern High Network. They were there. United States Army, wow, such a huge part of what the Kern High Network and the Kern High School District have put together for all of our student athletes. Thank you. Here's a run play. Davidson to the far side while he's still running hard. Looks great. Kylan Davidson.
Again, I think one thing we can say is Stockdale's run game is much improved over last year. Now they kind of got away from it when the game got away from them, but you know, for a team that averaged less than 3 yards a carry last year, I've got to think that they're about 4 or 5 against a pretty stout Ridgeview defense.
Thank you, Motor City, for being involved in every step of the way, of course. Thank you. Davidson, again, wrangled at about the 44-yard line. And, of course, Tony's Pizza, our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game Award, about to be announced here pretty soon. Kevin Willie will weigh in. I'll weigh in. Coach Cornford will weigh in. Our first Tony's Pizza Player of the Game Award this year. Who will it be? There's still a bit of mystery, still a bit of doubt because of one play. One play has this thing up in arms. 2nd and 9. Burkhart reels in the Joseph Hess pass, but not enough to gain really anything. It'll be 3rd and 10 again.
And you see Ridgeview's made some substitutions, but the overall team speed does not appear to be diminished at all. It's King Ellis, another sophomore, really closed fast on that play. But, you know, King Ellis is the guy that played on the varsity basketball team as a freshman. So the big stage isn't going to scare him.
One of the great first names in all of high school football, King. Love it.
Very coachable kid.
He's in trouble. Does he get loose? No, he doesn't. He is sacked and thrown to the ground. Wow. What a great play by Fidel Soto.
Yeah, Fidel Soto is a kid that when you look at him, you think he's got no business being out there. He's not very big, but man, does he have a motor. And just when he was scrimmaging the first team, they had first team going against second string, he was giving them fits just with his get off. And, you know, a kid that, you know, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, and that dog there can hunt.
King Ellis deep back there with Chris Thompson. Be great to see the sophomore King handle the ball. Here's the punt, and we just may. Another great punt out there by Dwayne Hartman. He angled it just perfectly, and the ball will roll and stop at about the 19-yard line. This clock will continue to tick all the way out. Well, Kevin and Coach Cornford, you have less than a minute to come up with your decision, because we will wrap up pretty quickly. Kevin, microphone please. Our first Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, your considerations please.
Well, I think coming into this game, I think it was going to be Taj Wright. But you know, I like the underdogs. I like the defensive guys, the guys on the line. And next game comes around, Taj is going to be right in there in the running. So I'm going to go for Hidalgo.
Maximus Hidalgo with the 80-yard scoop and score is Kevin's first thought as we see the final seconds tick off. It's official, 42-0. Ridgeview with the big win. Coach, before I get your Tony's Pizza Player of the Game nomination, your thoughts on this football game tonight?
Well, you know, the score is not going to surprise a lot of people. But I really got to think that Stockdale is quite a bit improved over last year. Their ability to run and throw the ball when the game was competitive, you know, was pretty impressive to me. And I thought they played good defense. But, you know, Taj Wright made some plays out of system that there's just no defending. And then once they fell behind, it just snowballed on them. But I think they're an improved ball club.
Very good. Your thoughts on Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, Coach Cornford?
Well, My daughters love the movie Princess Bride, and there's a guy in there named Miracle Max. And I think we might have seen a little Miracle Max tonight. So I'll agree with Kevin and go with Miracle Max.
It's a done deal. The Tony's Pizza Player of the Game will be in one of our first Ultra highlight reels. And when you win Tony's Pizza Player of the Game on a night where Taj Wright has fumble recovery, 78-yarders, touchdown passes from all over the football field, when you're Maximus Hidalgo, you're the only guy that can usurp that. He wins the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, an 80-yard scoop and score to stamp the victory, and I think it was the timing of that as well that just pretty much sealed the deal. Our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, Maximus Hidalgo, some great sportsmanship. The Mustangs and the Wolfpack meet at midfield for a prayer. Coach, I want to thank you. Great job tonight. Looking forward to a great season with you. Miguel, thank you. Appreciate it. Victoria, thank you for everything you do for us. Kevin Willie, you are the man for the Kern High School District. This is Vance Palm signing off on the Kern High Network. Have a great week.